Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Steel Twins recording studio in the cherry capital of the world, Traverse City, Michigan. Introducing your hosts, the Cannonball, the Cannon, the Steel Twins.
There we go. Those are those unmistakable pipes we've been looking for. It is Friday night, and tonight you know what that means.
That's right, man. Take a look at our shirts, man.
Yep. We football season is in full swing, so we got to do it one time. 1, 2, 3. Football in Sao Paulo. Now the Lions aren't playing in Sao Paulo. The Eagles and the Packers are, but it's a tie game, 0-0. The Packers almost had a touchdown. Both teams had 12 men on the field, and then the punting unit came out.
Yeah.
Actually, one time for posterity's sake. One time for the Pope. One time for the Pope.
Let's hear it, boys.
Everybody. So anyway, okay. So we are finally here. We're finally at the trial of Trucy Wright. As you may know from our last stream, Trucy Wright, started her magic show all over again. After after reading her quote unquote grandpa, of sorts, Magnify Gramarye and his bag of tricks, she has decided to carry on the Gramarye name, and unfortunately, there's been a murder. Well, we're claiming it's an accident, but the prosecutor for the case, Prosecutor Sadmati, and for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a Quranist monk visiting the United States, and he's learning about our courts, about the state's court system in game here. But he has a theory on why it's possibly a homicide. It makes no sense, but we're here to find out what's going on and how to get to the bottom of this just dastardly plot to repossess the Wright Anything Agency. So Trucy Wright's magic rights are on risk. The office is repoed. Like, it's chaos and madness, and one man is to blame for all this. Roger Rettens. I don't care what his last name is. He's going down. So
yeah, it's time to bring that bastard to justice.
One way or another.
Before we begin, though, I have a bit of an announcement to make.
Oh, hey, you tell.
Hey, Miles Edgeworth fans, the wait is over. The Ace Attorney Investigations Collection is out now.
If you look in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, I will demonstrate for you right now. Let's see.
Just type in Ace.
Well, not Ace D, but I mean, maybe.
There, right there.
There it is. The Ace Attorney Investigation. Let me blow this up real quick. Nice transition into live scene. But yep, there it is. The Ace Attorney Investigations Collection is live and in public, if you will.
And it'll be our next project once we get done with Spirit of Justice.
Absolutely. We wanted to share that with you because, well, by God, that's exciting news.
Yes, it is.
Couple of new faces in this room, and one of them, some of them are very familiar.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And if you're anticipating Ace Attorney 7, well, just all
three of you. the rest of planet Earth. What?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Well, why don't we get cracking here?
I guess we got to go back to intermission because we always do this before we go live, like live.
All right. So let me go and get this kicked off here. You got a cap to your bottle or a pin to your bottle can. Go ahead and pull that pin and twist that cap off.
I do it better. I'm just saying.
Hey, Cannonball, what time is it?
It's time to get bombed.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Got to make up for it somehow.
Okay.
Feel that heart rate rise.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I
am Cornholio. I need teepee for my bunghole.
I don't think we can pull our shirts over our heads, and I don't think you guys want to see that anyway. That is
Yeah, I wanted to get that out of my system, by the way.
Well, why? Rough day at work? Rough day at the office?
No, not really.
No, it's been a rough week at the office for me. Let me tell you, just busy, man. I'm so glad it's Friday.
Yep. Well,
late.
I got one more day, but hey, I'm not working. Because guess what? The day after is I'll be on vacation.
Homeboy's on vacation next week.
Damn right,
all
son.
week long, huh?
Right. So that gives me an idea. Followers or viewers at home, if you have a game of your choice that you would like me or Alex to play during that week, go ahead and drop a comment or a like, whatever you want to do.
Yep. Well, drop kick that like button, drop kick that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and tell your friends, because we're pretty damn entertaining. So
let's get to it. The trial of Trucy Wright. The trial of the magical turnabout. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, we couldn't wait any longer.
Nope.
April 28th, 9:15 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3, that's what I'm understanding.
It is Defendant Lobby number 3, and somebody is stressing out. Action.
I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine.
Is Apollo okay? He's been muttering to himself all morning. He's been like that since yesterday. Guess the pressure of today's trial is getting to him. Poor Polly. He's really tearing himself up over all this. Get it together, Apollo.
Yikes! Athena, when did you get here?
Try to relax a little bit, will you? You're getting yourself way too worked up.
Yeah, but I'm all right. I'm fine.
I did a little digging on this Nayuda Sadmani guy. He's apparently not your run-of-the-mill prosecutor.
Oh yeah? What did you find out?
When are they ever run-of-the-mill prosecutors? Huh?
Beats me.
It's Ace Attorney, for crying out loud. Okay.
Well, they say he wields an incredible power to accurately read a trial's karma and its ultimate fate.
Okay, that's a new one.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't have all the details, but apparently he can foresee how the arguments will go and even lead his opposition. So the defense basically ends up going in whatever direction he has in his head.
Man, this isn't gonna be a cakewalk if that's true.
Emma did say she talked to him first, though. Here's hoping that went well.
In any case, sounds like he's gonna keep us on our toes.
He's gonna keep us on our toes. That's why I know you're ready. Why I know I can leave Trucy and the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo.
Mr. Wright is putting his faith in me. I can't let him down now. I'm fine.
There he goes again. It's almost like he's chanting a prayer.
I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine.
If you say so, Apollo.
The trial will start momentarily. Is the defense ready?
Yes, we're fine. Court to steel, baby. Trucy's fate and the fate of the agency rest on this trial. This is it, Justice. If there ever was a time to shine, it's now. Damn right, son.
Damn right. Up top.
Yeah. Time to earn your bread, Justice. Mm-hmm. April 28th, 9:30 a.m., District Court. Courtroom number 6.
Yep. They dusted off the countertops with this one. Time to earn your bread and your cheese.
Day 1. Court is now in session.
All rise.
I imagine court number 4 is still under construction.
Yep, after it got blown up last game.
Court is now in session for the trial of Trucy Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And the prosecution. Prosecutor Sudmati.
A thousand pardons. A thousand pardons. It was rude of me to keep you waiting. I was praying for the victim.
Oh, praying. Yes, I see. You're a Koreanist monk, correct, prosecutor?
Yes, that is correct. I am but a lowly monk from the kingdom of Gramarye. I beg in advance for the forgiveness and kind patience of everyone here in this court. I am unfamiliar with the proceedings of this country and may make many blunders.
He seems such like a gentle-mannered soul, doesn't he?
I wonder if Em had a chance to talk with him about Trucy. Now then, Prosecutor Sudmati, your opening statement, if you would.
It's never this easy with anybody.
Nope.
Certainly, in the name of the Holy Mother, I vow to guide the victim's soul to a land of eternal peace, known as the Twilight Realm. Now, let the last rites of the victim begin.
Now here's Sudmati. He's really been making a name for himself, apparently, but that nickname, Last Rights Prosecutor, I wonder how that would come into play today.
The incident took place in the middle of a spectacular magic show. The accused performed a magic trick in which she thrust a sword into a coffin. A coffin from which the body of the victim then spilled out, dead from a fatal stabbing. The victim's name was Man of Mystery, otherwise known as the Great Mr. Reyes. Man of Mystery. Oh.
There go the puns again.
Jesus, all right. His blood was found on the sword that was used during the magic trick.
Autopsy report added to the court record.
The victim's real name was Man of Mystery. His blood is on the murder weapon. Does that make him Russian?
So his death was just an unfortunate accident?
It is only natural for one to assume as such, Your Honor. However, it was no mere accident, but rather a homicide. The prosecution's position is thus that this was a murder made to look like an accident.
I see. And you believe this crime was committed by the defendant?
After a thorough consideration of all possible scenarios, I unfortunately had no other choice but to conclude as much.
So that's how it's gonna be, huh?
I guess Emma couldn't convince him after all.
Very well. And now, let us hear from the defense. Mr. Justice. Naturally, we maintain that the defendant is innocent, Your Honor.
If the defense wouldn't mind, could you please explain your reasoning?
My reasoning? Well, I would have to say that my main reason is because I believe in the defendant. Not gonna be good enough there, pal.
I see. So you find it difficult to come up with anything more concrete than that, do you? What a fine demonstration of the fact that you are indeed a lawyer of putrid mind.
Putrid mind? Prosecutor Sudmati? Excuse me, but I don't...
Satora!
Take it away.
What?
What? Well,
I said I wanted two.
if you don't mind my asking, prosecutor, what was that you were just chanting?
A sutra of the Holy Mother that guides those of tainted soul toward enlightenment. It is a Qurinist incantation to awaken the foolish from their fruitless slumber. Fitting for a lawyer who indulges in such fancy as the innocence of the accused.
I see. So basically, you're asking the defense to get real. Okay, a little bit.
Sorry, just making sure there's nothing important.
Okay.
Allow me these few words, defense. It is my duty as a monk to punish sinners and to guide victims' souls to the twilight realm. Should you show repentance and admit to the accused's guilt now, no harm will come to you. But should you interfere with my sacred last rites for the victim, then I shall cast you down into the pit of hell, along with Trucy Wright.
Now wait just 1 minute here. Putrid? Pit of hell? Is that any way to address someone in a court of law? Prosecutor Sudmati, that may be the way you conduct trials in crime, but I would appreciate it if you would refrain from such charged language here.
Your Honor, that was but a Qurinist sermon for those who have strayed from the path. Harsh words are often necessary to admonish contemptible deviants who cannot see reason.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize.
Guess they really do hate defense attorneys in crime, huh? Even still, that was way, way over the top as far as verbal abuse goes.
The trial's only just begun. Well, defense, I suppose the way a prosecutor does things varies by country. Why don't we look at this as a cross-cultural exchange and try to be open-minded about it? What? Bailiff, please bring in the first witness.
Oh boy.
Whoever that may be. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I thought she said goodbye to the snackoos. Detective Sky, the courtroom is no place for gorging yourself.
What's wrong with having a little snack? Girls gotta eat, right? She, seems a little stressed out.
You think?
Yeah.
Detective Sky, your testimony, please.
Yeah, about that, I just want to state for the record that I believe Trucy Wright is innocent.
I'm sorry?
Detective Sky, this path you seek to follow is misguided. Giving the wrongdoer false hope will only deepen her despair in the end.
But I...
Let it go and move on. Acts which go against your duty will earn you divine punishment from the Holy Mother.
Huh? Fine. I don't know about the divine part, but I get the punishment bit loud and clear. I guess Emma got assigned tons of paperwork or something for sticking up for Trucy.
She and Prosecutor Samadi don't seem to get along very well, do they?
Neither against Prosecutor Gavin. She thought he was too headstrong. Shall we continue? The prosecution contends that the accused had a clear motive. The evidence, if you would, Detective Sky.
All right, please take a look at this poster. It's a Troop Gramarye poster from 13 years ago.
Is it just me, or is it a little different from the one in Miss Wright's dressing room?
This is a revised version of that poster.
This one says canceled under Mr. Rios.
I got a real question for you. Is canceled spelled with one L or two?
I would have to say 2.
I thought it was 2.
I don't know.
Anyway.
That's right. Mr. Reyes left the troop after the first version of the poster was printed. Take a look at Mr. Reyes' right forearm, near his elbow. See the big scar there? He apparently got that when he made a mistake while practicing a magic trick.
Ouch! That's quite a scar.
Because of the accident, Magnified Gramarye concluded Mr. Reyes was too unskilled. Just before the show was to open, Magnify announced Mr. Reyes wouldn't be appearing. But in defiance of Magnify's decision, Mr. Reyes tried to go on stage anyway. This in turn caused Magnify to oust Mr. Reyes from the troupe on the spot.
He kicked Mr. Reyes out? That seems rather extreme. Did he really have to go that far?
When it came to magic, Troupe Gramarye was so passionate, or should I say, extreme about it, that it caused problems for them from time to time.
Yes, they even caused this court a mountain of trouble with their extreme antics.
Extreme!
Gotta hydrate.
And now, the troupe's successor has committed a murder. It seems the troupe's rare talent was inherited by the right person after all. A putrid talent for criminality.
You sound rather extreme yourself, prosecutor.
Criminals with impure souls do not deserve sympathy, Your Honor.
Anyway, as I was saying, after his expulsion, Mr. Reyes apparently went on to hold a grudge against the troupe.
He would tell those close to him, "I will get my revenge on Troupe Gramarye someday."
Revenge, That certainly sounds antagonistic.
13-year-old poster updated in the court record.
Mr. Reyes was apparently ousted from Troupe Gramarye 13 years ago due to an injury he sustained.
And then, his chance for revenge finally came. If you would be so kind, Detective Sky.
Guess I don't have a choice, do I?
All right, time for a little witness testimony.
All right, talk to us, Emma.
The defendant's motive.
The victim planned to get his revenge on Troupe Gramarye during Trucy's magic show. Mr. Reyes was going to first steal the Gramarye notebook from the defendant. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic tricks during the show. That was the victim's plan for revenge. And while he did, in fact, steal the notebook, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
More about that.
By the time the accused had discovered the notebook's theft, it was too late. Her only option was to kill Mr. Reyes and make it look like an accident.
Objection! Objection! That's nothing but conjecture!
Objection! The victim's assistant, Bonnie DeFam, gave the police a statement. She testified that just before the start of the show, Mr. Reyes said, "I'm going to reveal all of Troupe Gramarye's secrets on stage today."
What?
Well, that isn't exactly a great starting point for a rebuttal, is it?
You're telling me.
Excuse me, gosh, it's that energy drink. Allow me to give you one piece of advice, defense.
Oh, and what's that? Here comes the butterfly.
Let it go and move on.
Oh, those words again. Excuse me?
Helping a sinner will only sully your own soul. One possessed of an unclean soul will burn in the flames of hell, and then be ever burdened with that sin in their next life.
But I don't believe in that sort of thing. Besides, I have no intention of giving up.
Oh, Holy Mother, grant me the strength to deal with this putrid lawyer. All actions have consequences, and yours will surely earn you the honor of being a mere stink bug at best in your next life.
A stink bug? Now then, Mr. Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. All right, cross-examination time. What's it gonna be? The defendant's motive.
The victim planned to get his revenge on Troop Gramarye during Trucy's magic show. Mr. Reyes was going to first steal the Gramarye notebook from the defendant. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic tricks during the show.
Hold it! Hold it! I'm going to reveal all of Troop Gramarye's secrets on stage today. That's what Mr. Reyes himself said, right?
Right, but he didn't exactly specify which Gramarye secrets he was talking about.
But the prosecution thinks he was referring to the secrets behind Troop Gramarye's magic?
Yes, that is the prosecution's assertion. When the accused realized that Mr. Reyes was to reveal her family's most closely guarded secrets, she naturally panicked.
So basically, Trucy's notebook was hiding in Mr. Reyes' things because he had stolen it himself?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the conclusion we came to.
I don't know. I see. Truly a motive that only a magician could have.
Yes, that's what the prosecution believes anyway. That was the victim's plan for revenge, and while he did in fact steal the notebook, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
Hold it! Hold it! I'm sorry, but what exactly is the basis for claiming it was murder?
Yeah, we never really got a clear answer on that.
Yeah, good question there, Apollo.
Beats me.
What? The basis is beats me?
You'll have to ask Prosecutor Sadmati over there, because he hasn't told me his reasoning either.
Detective Sky, your feeding of information to the defense has not gone unnoticed by my eyes. The bad karma of acts which go against your duty will impinge upon you in your next life. But even before that, it may impinge upon your job in the form of a transfer.
Please don't get me kicked out of the forensics unit. Anything but that.
Poor Emma. She's really been risking everything for us. Well, Prosecutor Sadmati, what are your grounds for claiming homicide?
It was the luminous tape in the understage passage. I realized that it had been moved. Moved so that Mr. Reyes would climb up into the downstage coffin by mistake.
What?
Mr. Reyes, who was waiting in the understage passage, was supposed to have used the upstage ladder, shown here on the left. Look, it's dark as shit down there. He was to climb up into the coffin that had been set up in the backstage area. After being turned into a stuffed dragon during Act 1, Mr. Reyes was supposed to come back to life and emerge from that coffin. But the luminous tape had been moved to mark the downstage ladder. So the victim climbed up into the coffin on the stage itself by mistake. The very same coffin the accused thrust her sword into.
And you have proof that it was my client who moved the tape?
But of course. Detective Sky?
Oh, that's right. I identified the defendant's fingerprints on the luminous tape.
You what? He actually had proof?
Well, defense, are you finally ready to let it all go and move on?
Absolutely not. Detective, please add the information about the prints on the tape to your testimony.
The defendant's prints were on the tape. I guess she must have moved it during the show.
Wait a minute now, what about the data itself?
Now, hang on. So, let me take a look at this. So, okay, fingerprint analysis. Prints on the coffin lid, Bonnie DeFam. Prints on the side panels, Mr. Reyes. Prints on the top panel, unknown.
Trucy's wore gloves during the show, so none of her fingerprints were found. Mr. Reyes' palm prints are reversed. See the image.
Yeah, so now check this out, too.
But then again, Trucy was wearing...
She was wearing gloves during the show, and I guess she must have moved it during the show. Well, if she was wearing gloves during the show, she wouldn't have left fingerprints.
Objection! I'm sorry, Detective Sky, but there's a flaw in your testimony.
Oh, really?
The prosecution is claiming that Ms. Wright moved the understage tape during the show in order to guide the victim into the coffin downstage. But it doesn't make sense that she would leave prints on the tape at that time. It doesn't? Please consider the fingerprinting results of the main coffin, which shows that not one of my client's fingerprints was found on or in it.
That's true. We didn't find any of her prints on that coffin.
I think you've realized what the flaw in your testimony is. Claiming Ms. Wright left prints on the tape during the show is inconsistent with the facts. Because she was wearing gloves during the show.
Oh!
She must have left the prints sometime before the show started. In other words, her prints do not prove she moved the tape to mislead the victim. The prosecution's investigation was insufficient.
Oh my! But on a personal level, I'm very happy about that.
Well, Prosecutor Sanmati, if the defense's argument is true, then you have no evidence the defendant moved the tape to deceive the victim.
I see. Apparently, the defense is more intelligent than I had thought. More than a stink bug, at any rate.
Come on, you can bump me up to at least a stag beetle now, can't you?
Would that really be any better?
Of course, way better. Stag beetles are cool with those huge mandibles of theirs.
Nerd. Satura! If the defense wishes to be promoted to a stag beetle, then answer me this question.
All right, shoot.
Even with no evidence that the accused moved the tape to misguide the victim still climbed the ladder, using the tape as a guide, and entered the coffin on the stage. The accused then thrust her sword into said coffin with the victim in it.
So what you're saying is, the fact remains that the victim was stabbed to death, right?
Precisely. However, this does drastically change one aspect of this case. If the accused did not lead the victim into the coffin on purpose, then it means the victim's death could have been accidental. If it was indeed an accident, the defense can argue that it was involuntary manslaughter.
I see. If it was involuntary manslaughter, they could plead extenuating circumstances, and the severity of the crime could be mitigated.
Defense, if you believe the accused did not murder the victim, then do you argue that it was an accident?
This is it. The all-important question. The defense argues that Mr. Reese's death was murder.
Murder?
Murder?
What?
The defense maintains that the defendant is entirely innocent.
Uh-huh.
We believe that it wasn't an accident, but murder. And what's more, we believe it was committed by a third party.
Alex Michael, thank you so much for liking the stream.
I bet Maddie's with you.
I bet she's not too far behind.
Nope, not when.
A third party? As in the true culprit is someone else?
How could this be? All right, well,
Third party?
this is getting interesting. Oh yeah. That is quite a brazen claim to make, and one wholly without grounds. Your voice is as loud as your suit, and your mind echoes just as loudly in emptiness. Surely you were but a loud red pepper in your previous life.
I've been demoted to a vegetable?
Wow. I didn't know a person could be reincarnated as a non-sentient plant.
In any case, I do have grounds to make this claim.
Let us hear this reasoning of yours, then.
All right, but before I give it, there is one question that we need to address. If the victim was killed by some third party, Maddie is snoozing for now, but I'll fill her in on what's happening. Good on her. Okay, that's fine. If the victim was killed by some third party, then the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin wasn't the cause of death. If that's the case, then how did we wind up with a dead body inside the coffin? A very good question. Now let's hear your opinion, Mr. Justice. How did the victim's body wind up inside the coffin?
He must have been killed under stage because it wasn't magic, and he wasn't killed in the coffin. That's what we just tried to not prove. So he's killed under stage.
What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? In other words, what if the victim was already dead in the coffin from the get-go?
And remember, those prints were reversed on the box, so...
Who knows? Oh, I see. In that case, the defendant's sword wouldn't have been the cause of death.
And here's the thing, that would mean he wasn't dead from the get-go, because how does a dead person put their hands up like that? Yeah, Apollo, you're not thinking straight here. Anyway.
How do you respond, Prosecutor Sudmati?
That is the third time.
The third time of what?
I didn't catch the first two. Ha!
What the heck is this?
Ha!
さとら今おまどもさましで足し抜けたれがせよそろか
But I said I wanted chicken.
Ow, my head! What do you think you're doing?
Even the merciful Holy Mother loses patience if she is struck 3 times. Since you never learn, you needed to be punished.
Why don't you let me worry about what I need and don't need?
It is what you deserve for interfering with my sacred last rites for the victim. You are a brainless lawyer chasing phantoms. You know nothing. Let this humble servant of the Holy Mother give you an edifying sermon.
A sermon? Now?
There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Qurainism. A cornered frog will swallow even a snake.
Huh? A cornered lawyer has unexpectedly struck back hard against the prosecution. Did I get it right?
No, for I am not done with my sermon. And yet, the frog still dies, its belly bitten and torn from within.
Just great.
And in this case, you are that frog defense.
What exactly is your point anyway?
Let us assume for a moment that the victim was killed under the stage. Who then had the opportunity to do so during the show?
Let's see. The people in the show were
Bonnie DeFam, the victim Mr. Reyes, and Trucy Wright. Bonnie DeFam was on stage throughout the entire show, as easily confirmed by the footage from the show. Which leaves us with only one suspect, Trucy Wright. Now do you see? Ha! The accused killed Mr. Reyes as he waited on standby in the understage passage, and then placed his dead body in the coffin above, thus making the murder look like an accident.
No!
Oh, great and merciful Holy Mother, thus another putrid mind has been guided toward enlightenment.
I can't believe I swallowed this trick question whole.
Oh, he got him good there.
Wait a second.
God dang. Hey, wait.
Objection! Sorry, but I have to raise an objection here.
Athena, what are you?
There's something I want to point out, Apollo.
And who might you be? You strike me as a mere child in countenance.
I may be young, but I have an attorney's badge just the same.
Uh-huh.
Can we check something real quick? Hold on. So obviously Athena's 19 years old. Prosecutor Sadmati's only 25. So I'm like, he's not that much older. Anyway.
Nope, not quite.
And you would contribute to this discussion in that capacity?
I most certainly would.
All right. Let's see what you got, Widget. Not the move matrix.
You just argued that the defendant killed the victim under the stage. But let me remind you that Ms. Wright is a girl.
Clearly. Surely you didn't raise an objection simply to point out such an obvious fact. Your Honor, please send for this little child's guardian to come take her home.
Hold it! Hold it! But I'm not done with my sermon.
You don't need to talk like Prosecutor Sadmati, you know.
Listen, if the victim was killed in the understage passage, then his body would then have to be hauled up to the stage, right? However, Ms. Wright is a young girl, and a pretty petite one at that. She couldn't possibly have hefted that large body up and put it in the coffin.
That's true. It does seem like it would be a rather difficult task for the defendant.
Now, we tested this offline a couple days ago, and I've got to point something out, kids. In the last episode, last week, we found out that Trucy Wright had to really haul ass and push one of the carts. She had to push carts around to fix her mistake. So she's clearly able to do stuff that we didn't think she's capable of doing. So she's falling on her face here pretty early, and it's a slow burn to get there too. So let's just keep that in mind, kids.
I don't think even I could do it.
What do you think of that, prosecutor? Who's the child now?
In my religion, the priestesses of Corainism are revered as the pillars of our beliefs, so I naturally hold nothing but deep respect for women. I also think highly of the female perspective.
Says the man who called this fair maiden a little child.
Who's a fair maiden?
I agree that your point is worth discussing, defense. How indeed was the dead body raised up into the coffin? By the accused Trucy Wright, that is.
You're committed to pointing the finger at her no matter what, huh? Then you explain how that even be possible.
But of course.
Here comes a bear. Here comes a butterfly.
There was a way for even a small creature like her to raise the victim's body up.
Huh? Wait, you really can explain it?
I foresaw that our arguments would come to this, so I have prepared a witness.
Well. I admire your readiness, prosecutor.
It is really not that difficult when one can read the ultimate outcome of any trial.
He couldn't have really predicted that things would turn out like this, could he?
It's pretty hard to believe.
Excuse me, but may I step down now?
Yes, I suppose you may.
One moment, Detective Sky.
I'm sorry for, the way I handled all this.
You did a fine job, Detective. Your testimony was invaluable.
It was?
Yes, you served well as a detective and did not allow your personal feelings to interfere. You overcame the conflicted emotions you felt and performed your duty admirably. You will be rewarded for your fine work.
Thank you.
I hope we can work together again in the future.
Emma seems bewildered by the unexpected praise.
I guess he's a pretty nice person like they say, as long as you're not up against him.
Now then, Let us call the next witness.
How much you want to bet her testimony's given him some really good edge that he's going to cut us down with later? That's why he praised her. I'll bet you.
Okay. Well,
anyway,
awesome.
Let's go. All right, I'm totally in the dark at this point because this is where we stopped last.
Well, there's Bonnie.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. It's very nice to meet all of you. I'm a legomorphic illusionist from the land of fairy tales, Bonnie the Fam. I can't wait to do some magic tricks for all of you.
Please, witness, there is a time and a place for all things, including magic.
But it would be okay if I do just a little magic, right? Come on, please. Look, everybody is waiting. Now's my chance to shine.
Satora! That is your second time.
My second time doing what?
We don't see it, man. I mean, I guess he's just picking it, whatever. There will be no further warnings. You should know that from our preparatory meeting, correct?
Is no one exempt from His Holiness's rosary of suffering? May we have your testimony, witness, once you've recovered from your disappointment?
Well, as a huge fan of Trucy's,
That's a lie.
I don't really want to testify against her. But I guess I have to, don't I?
As a huge fan of Trucy's, huh?
I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand that Trucy Wright. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So this is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves.
Sure, you're a real fan, all right. Of destroying Trucy, you mean? Well,
Let's get into it.
witness testimony time. Oh shit, sorry.
That's okay.
The Interstate's Passage.
I really can't believe that Trucy killed Mr. Rios. I guess it's possible for a small girl to lift a dead body up if she used a stage lift. Is it possible? Could Trucy really have? If Trucy did use a stage lift, I think she must have used stage lift number 2. I was on stage for the entire show, by the way.
Oh yeah, true, but... You were on stage the whole time? And you're sure about that?
There is no question. The entire audience could testify to that fact. What's more, she is shown clearly in the TV show footage as well.
I couldn't possibly have killed Mr. Rios. Not little old me.
Well, why would you say that? Therefore, the only person who could have killed the victim under stage is the accused. Furthermore, by using a stage lift, even a petite young lady
I think we may be...
could have raised the body up to the stage without difficulty.
I think we could probably use Widget at this point, but...
Yeah, hey.
You've got to be kidding me! Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Before we do, can I take a look at something? Trucy's statement. Bonnie messed up Mr. Hat's position for the escape trick, placing him opposite the scripted location on the right side. As a result, Trucy had to quickly move the lifts under the stage. She never told anyone that she had moved the stage lifts. So, how does Bonnie know that?
How indeed.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
That's how we're going to roast this marshmallow.
All right, cross-examination time. Spill the beans, Bunny. The Understage Passage.
I really can't believe that Trucy killed Mr. Rios. I guess it's possible for a small girl to lift a dead body up to use a stage lift. Is it possible? Could Trucy really have?
So, okay, hang on.
If Trucy did use the stage lift, I think she must have used stage lift number 2.
Hold it! Stage lift number 2? You mean the stage lift shown here on the left?
That's right. With a stage lift, I think even a small girl can easily lift a dead body up to the stage.
And so that makes her the murderer in your opinion?
Of course not. I believe in Trucy. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of hers.
Oh, brother. How long is she gonna keep this act up?
Defense. What position was stage lift number 2 in after the show?
Let's see. If I recall, it was in the fully raised position. Ah!
And the reason why it was fully raised is because the accused used it to lift the victim's body. Wouldn't you agree? Actually, no. No. See, we got a way out of this. Feel free to slowly mull it over while you roast over the flames of hell, you evil red pepper.
So now I'm also evil? Okay, what do you got?
I was on stage for the entire show, by the way.
Hold it! You didn't have a single spare moment to slip down to the understage passage?
Huh? Don't tell me you suspect me now.
Just trying to do my job by fully examining your alibi. Depending on how solid it is, I might have to suspect you, yes.
You gotta be kidding me! Don't spit on my head and tell me it's raining, lawyer boy! I'm right here in the footage! Or are you too much of an idiot to see?
Huh? Well, Mr. Fan, are you feeling all right? You seem suddenly different.
Oops. Where did that come from, right? Oh my, I seen your snap there for a second, didn't I?
You didn't just snap, you broke character just now.
In any case, I was on stage the whole time performing magic. I mean, you saw me in the footage, right? My dazzling and flawless performance.
Flawless? That's odd considering what you told me. Oh boy. You said that you made a mistake with where you positioned Mr. Hat.
Yeah.
Mr. Fan, to what is the defense referring?
Well, I made a little mistake on stage. I was in charge of operating Mr. Hat, you see. According to the script, I was supposed to place him to the left of the coffin. But I flubbed it up and made him stand to the right of the coffin instead.
And because of that mistake, Trucy had to move the stage lifts around.
So, I think I thought we were going to get out of it, but it looks like we're going to get stuck in it even deeper. Oh, this sucks.
This is bad.
I feel really bad about messing Trucy up like that with my goof.
Oh, boy. I think it's now... Well... Damn it! I don't see any inconsistencies in her testimony!
Now do you know who the real killer is?
Come on, Gramps! Don't just sit there! Hand down your ruling pronto! Do it quick, before you keel up over there!
I beg your pardon?
Oops.
Oops. Oh, what's gotten into me? I'm so sorry.
I give her another 5 minutes before she tears off that mask!
Well, defense? Are you ready to let it all go now?
Of course not! I'll never give up!
I see. I suppose this, too, is fate. The sacred scriptures of Carinism describe a variety of hells for the damned. For someone like you, who struggles ceaselessly against his fate. Pafubuljig seems the most appropriate. Mind translating that into English, pal?
Yeah. People boil. What? Oh, wait. That's Chinese.
Oh my God. Scott would have a field day with that one.
I know, right?
Oh, Jesus. All right.
What sort of terrible place is Pafubuljig?
A place where the more one struggles, the further one falls into the abyss. At the bottom of the abyss, a ferocious beast awaits. Think of it as something akin to an antlion sand pit trap.
Oh, there's one of those in my backyard.
Wow. Rhinest hell is closer to home than I thought.
Now then, it would appear that the witness's testimony supports the prosecution's claims that the defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim under stage. How are we supposed to get out of this jam?
Hey, Apollo, if you can't find any contradictions, maybe it's time to use analytical psychology.
Oh, there we go. Get Widget out here to play. You mean?
I heard some discord in Bonnie's voice while she was testifying.
Ooh, that's
see?
a lot.
See? Widget is picking up on the noise in her heart, too.
That's right. Athena can hear things others can't with her super sensitive hearing. She can hear the emotions people suppress as a kind of noise or discord in their voices. All right, Athena, let's give it a try.
You got it!
Hold it!
Hold it! Your Honor! I'm afraid that our witness, Ms. DeFam, is suffering under terrible traumatic stress due to this horrible incident.
She is?
Yes, what with that terrible death on stage and her beloved Trucy getting arrested, she's under awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she is unfit to testify. What?
Oh, I've heard of that. What is it called? Postal stress disorder, right?
I guess you can say that.
I don't know. Come on, Judge. It's where a person becomes uncontrollably angry, I think. I read about it somewhere.
That's going postal, Your Honor. This is PTSD.
Oh my. So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times, as if she were a different person.
Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness.
Hold it! Huh? Therapy? You don't know the first thing about a magician's mental strength. I risk my life jumping through rings of fire and having my body sawn in half.
Oopsie! Boy, I have to watch my temper, don't I?
Miss Cykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady.
And what exactly is this child planning to do, Mr. Justice?
With her super sensitive hearing, Miss Cykes can hear a witness's true emotions. Simply from tone and inflection, she can tell exactly what a person is feeling.
I can even pick out feelings that a witness is trying to suppress or hide. Widget projects the emotions I hear into the mood matrix where I can analyze them.
Sounds like some sort of spurious devilry. Though I find it hard to believe, I must ask, how do emotions constitute evidence?
Well, I won't say that emotions can be taken as evidence per se. I have seen how instrumental Miss Cykes' work has been in cracking a case.
You see how important that statement was from the last game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try.
I see. If you are in favor of it, Your Honor, then I have no objections. Even this mere monk can see that something disturbs the witness.
I'll disturb you!
Oh, thank you for understanding, Prosecutor Sadmati. Apollo, you remember how to conduct a therapy session, right?
You want me to lead this session?
Of course. You're the lead on this case, after all.
Fair enough. But, do I need a refresher?
No need.
No need. I think I still remember from the last time, so let's get right into it.
Okie dokie. You ready, Widget?
Let's do this.
All right, mood matrix, activate. Yeah, baby. Time to reveal what this chick truly is. Here we go. Here is what it says. I guess Trucy is the one who killed Mr. Reyes. Even she could move the body with that lift. Nah. I was on stage at the time.
Okay, no emotions there. But why wouldn't she have any emotions? Because wouldn't she be happy? Anyway.
But that terrible mistake. Wait a minute.
So, okay, so there's a little bit of sadness, but a lot of surprise. So, which one do we hit? Let's hit on the sadness.
Got it!
Got
Nope.
it! Mr. Fan's reaction here is completely unexpected.
I don't think so, Apollo. Are you sure you remember how to do this?
Well, maybe not completely sure.
You have to pinpoint inconsistencies between Bonnie's testimony and her emotions. For example, if she's saying, "It made me so mad," but the mood matrix shows that she was feeling happy, inconsistencies like that.
Okay, I think I've got it.
Now that I spelled it all out for you, you should be able to do it on your own.
If you're gonna spell it all out for me, you might as well just tell me the answer too.
Where's the fun in that? It's a terrible mistake.
Just keep
Let's
going.
keep going.
My stupid flub caused Trucy so much trouble.
She is.
I feel so bad about what?
No, you don't.
Got it!
Got it! I have to say, Mr. Fam, you certainly are a strange one. Even though you said I feel so bad about it, it seems you were feeling happy about it.
Ow!
I think I can guess why you were feeling happy. It must be because
You messed Trucy up. You made me mess up.
I think you were happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I?
You gotta be kidding me! Why would I be happy if I messed Trucy up? I'm a big fan of her!
Liar. Because we saw you.
I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand that Trucy Wright. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So this is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves.
What do you think of that? We saw how you said you hated Trucy Wright. How you were glad she was in trouble, and even how it was what she deserved.
Ow!
It looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak.
Oh, we're halfway there.
Apollo, the noise level dropped. Now if we could get it down to 0.
Well, Mr. Fam, are you ready to confess how you really feel?
What? What do you mean? I'm Bonnie, the sweet, cute little bunny. I'm a rookie,
I'm a rookie magician working hard just to be just like my idol Trucy.
That's the character I'm supposed to be. Objection!
Objection! Keep that up, Mr. Fam, and you're going to have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are. Who I really am? The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing you psychic harm. I can hear them. Two distinct voices battling inside you.
Shut your pie hole, you know-nothing, know-it-all!
I mean, You mustn't say things like that, or I might get flustered.
Mr. Fair, how long do you insist on maintaining this wolf in sheep's clothing act? We can't end this therapy session until you get real with us. Set the wild beast inside you free.
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Uh-oh, what?
Don't make me laugh. You don't know a dang thing about me. You want to see who I really am? Fine. Take a good look.
What in the world?
Sheep's clothing? You've got it all wrong. It's a rabbit suit I've got on. And I'm not a wolf. I'm a blood-sucking vampire. A bat with fangs and wings.
I think we just opened the Pandora's box.
Again, phrasing.
I'm finally done with that goody two-shoes cottontail act. I feel free as a bat.
World? How is this?
What is it? How is this possible?
No, you can't. Order. Defense. Your therapy session has taken a turn for the worse from the looks of it. There's a perfectly good explanation for this. Isn't there, Miss Cykes?
Methinks I created a monster.
The bunny is evil.
That's right. That's right, Alex. Yeah, I created a monster. Nobody wants the marshal no more. It wants Shady, a top liver. Well, if you want Shady, this is what I'll give you.
We blew it.
Hey, you! Lobster boy!
Who, me?
You think I'm glad Trucy's in trouble? That I think she's getting her just desserts? Heh. Well, guess what? You're right!
Does this mean you admit to wishing the defendant harm?
Well, the bat is out of the bag now. That mistake of mine was a work of art. Thanks to my goof, poor little Trucy had to do all that hard physical labor.
When you say hard physical labor, what are you referring to?
Again, phrasing.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
Because of Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both of these huge stage lifts. They must have been so heavy. What a riot!
Well, that's strange. Athena, could you please add that last statement to Bonnie's testimony?
All right, I'll update the mood matrix with the new info. Hey, Apollo, now there's a new inconsistency in the testimony.
Yeah, she finally slipped up. So what do we need to do now?
Well, from this point onward, you just do what you do best. Find the contradiction in the testimony and present evidence to refute it.
All right, I got you now, Bonnie the fam. All right, here we go.
So I have to.
Well,
I guess Trucy is the one who killed Mr. Reyes. Even she could move the body with that lift. I was on stage at the time, but that terrible mistake. You know what? Serves her right. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lift.
Okay, where's the inconsistency there?
Okay, because the Trucy's statement is actually correct.
Objection!
Oh, how does she know that though? There we go.
Objection! That doesn't make sense.
What? So you think I'm crazy now?
No, that's not the point I was trying to make.
But I don't hear you denying it.
Mr. Pham, allow me to repeat your statement. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts.
Okay. That now we get to the pink meat of the situation.
That's right. And I still say that's the...
But how did you know? How did you know Ms. Wright moved the stage lifts? According to her own statement, she didn't tell anyone that she had done so.
What?
Oh boy. So how could you possibly have known what she had done unless you saw her? You saw Ms. Wright moving the lifts in the understage passage, didn't you?
Yeah!
Oh boy. Alright, go ahead and continue. Hey, the Discord is gone. Bye-bye.
You did it, Apollo. Noise levels are at 0%.
But Mr. Justice, wouldn't that mean? Yes, Your Honor. Ms. DeFam herself was under the stage where the victim was killed. And I hardly need to tell the court what that means. You are one artful liar, Mr. Pham, and one spectacular suspect. Suspect?
What? Oh man, this is.
Why, you shiny red lobster boy! You're saying I killed Mr. Rias?
I'm saying that it's a possibility. What's more, I say you had a solid motive to frame my client for the murder as well.
Objection. My apologies for raining on the defense's merry revelry. But you seem to have forgotten one very important point.
Feedback is appreciated. No sounds.
Everything.
Yeah. Oh, really?
The TV footage. As you can clearly see, Ms. DeFam was on the stage the whole time. The entire audience could bear witness to that fact, including you. What does that smell like?
You don't think there were twins, do you?
That's in magic. That's always a possibility.
You remember that teleportation trick?
I remember that teleportation trick. I've seen a couple of them, a lot.
All right, let's continue. Oh, yeah.
You have just taken a long and senseless journey, only to return to the starting line. The witness could not have been in the understage passage, which means the only one left who could have killed the victim is the accused.
Guess the party's over.
But Mr. Pham knew something she couldn't have known unless she was under the stage. How do you explain that, Prosecutor Sadmati?
It's quite simple. The accused must have told Ms. DeFam about it, but then forgot. That's a possibility, too.
Uh-oh.
Open those useless eyes of yours and take a good look at the footage!
Actually, hold on a second. Can I just take a look at something?
Yeah?
So just give me 1 second here, all right? Is there something about her, like, appearance that would make her look like a twin? So she's walking this way, right?
Right.
Oops, crap. How do I pause it?
I don't think so. Can you pause it from there?
I don't think I can.
Nah.
Okay, so there she is. Because look at that. She's got that. Okay. Poof. And
Okay, so
Mr. Hack goes up.
Just keep.
Okay, keep going.
If Mr. Pham really was in the understage passage, it would mean she was on stage and understage at the same time.
You mean she was in two places at once?
That's not possible.
That does seem to be the only explanation that makes any sense.
Maybe an explanation, but I'm not so sure about the makes sense part.
And we'll just have to make it make sense.
Dang.
Your Honor, the witness said the witness was both on stage and understage at the same time. That is a defense's assertion. I've heard some illogical things come out of you before, but this is absurd. I'm sure you'll change your tune once you hear my reasoning, Your Honor. My gut tells me you're bluffing, but I'll bite. Very well, Mr. Justice. I had to say my reflex for a dirty joke about an understage patch. It's there. Freeze.
Evening, Gov.
Evening, Gov. How do you explain how the witness was in two places at once?
Well,
There were
two Bonnies. I mean, it happens in magic all the time.
Right.
Also, hi.
There were two Bonnies, Your Honor. If that were the case, it would all make sense, wouldn't it? There were...
Two of them?
I suspected you had a few screws loose, but now I see some are missing altogether. Is there a toolkit in this courtroom, Your Honor? I suppose 2. No, 3 screws to the head should righten his putrid brain.
Very well. Very well. Could you... Hold it! No, wait! Please, listen to my argument! Very well. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to at least give it a listen. As was argued earlier, Mr. Pham is shown in the footage the whole time. But at the same time, she was also watching Ms. Wright in the understage passage. The only possible explanation is that there are 2 Bonnies. That all sounds like it makes sense. What do you think, Prosecutor Sudmati?
This humble servant of the Holy Mother is of the opinion that we should lose no time in replacing the defense's many lost screws.
But Apollo, it goes against reality itself to say that one person is actually 2.
We don't have to be bound by reality. After all, we're talking about magic here. So if the Bonnie the Pham in the footage is the real Bonnie, then the Bonnie here on the witness stand, the one who must have been under stage, this Bonnie the Pham, is our second Bonnie.
She is?
Say we call the one in front of us Bonnie number 2. I believe I have just a piece of evidence to prove that a Ms. Bonnie number 2 exists.
Really?
Really? Oh, then please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice.
I wonder if it's the hat. Like, you know how when we were in the room, you know, when we were interviewing her in the locker room, she couldn't do the bunny trick. Right? So I'm wondering if that's because she's not very skilled, and Bonnie number 2 is very skilled.
Well, let's see.
That's my guess, but I have no idea.
Please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice. What proves the existence of a Bonnie number 2?
Jesus. All right, hang on a minute. Let me see. No, there's nothing there.
Look at all the evidence here. Bonnie's script, the fire trick.
Mr. Ray is transformed, Bonnie's teleportation trick, and Trucy's escape trick. Oh!
Take that! That piece proves the existence of a second Bonnie? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Not in the slightest. What a coincidence. I was thinking the same thing. But this should be plenty obvious. Yikes! Really made him mad this time.
So another Bonnie, huh? A Bonnie number 2. She's basically some yet unknown third party that was there in the theater, right?
Exactly. And I believe we have a piece of evidence that proves such a person exists.
Her fingerprints.
Right. Your Honor, please let me try that again. Very well, but be warned that I won't let you get away with further shenanigans. Now then, Mr. Justice, what proves the existence of a Bonnie number 2? fingerprint results. Take that! What's this? During our investigation, we found a set of unknown prints on the coffin on the stage. These prints were most likely left during the course of the show, but they didn't match the prints of any of the people involved in this case.
An unknown third party's fingerprints. I was not told of this.
Emma must have kept it from him.
So the question is, who could these prints possibly belong to? Ms. DeFam, or should I say, Bonnie number 2? These are your fingerprints, aren't they?
Satura! Enough of this foolishness. One person could not possibly be two. Those fingerprints could have been left, not only during the show, but at any time.
Objection! Took care of that, cheap viewers. Nah, I don't even want to talk.
Let's, okay. Just keep going.
It's not like you to lose your cool like that, Prosecutor Sadmati. Just ignore it. And I'm sure you know that exactly when the fingerprints were made is not the main issue.
Give me 1 second here. There's got to be a way to
close that. Nah. Yeah, hold on a second, folks. We're trying to find a way to get rid of this thing.
Okay, you know what? Can't do it. Let's go.
Nice. What do you mean by that, Mr. Justice? The issue is, who do these unknown prints belong to? They're certainly not Bonnie DeFam's. But what if they belong to the person standing right in front of us? Oh, you mean Bonnie number 2 is the second Bonnie?
Well, that's what we were saying.
Is that what you're implying?
It's preposterous to suggest that those prints belong to the witness. I say they must belong to some other unknown individual.
Prosecutor Sadmati, can you really look at her and still say that?
What are you looking at? Take a picture. It'll last longer.
How could this be?
If we check her prints, I'm sure they'll match the unknown set. Well, Bonnie, the prints that don't belong to the real you belong to you, don't they, Bonnie number 2?
Yeah!
Order! Witness, is what the defense has said true?
Fine. I admit it. Fingerprints are mine.
Then does that mean you aren't Bonnie DeFam?
What? Ridiculous!
What? What in the world? Are there really 2 Bonnies?
Nope. There's only one Bonnie. That's because I'm Betty. Betty DeFam.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, it's time for a wondrous magic show. Gasp in amazement as this langomorphic delusionist performs her teleportation magic. Watch closely. It's showtime.
Get ready, folks. Ooh.
Huh?
Oh. There's Bonnie. Whoop. Whoop. And that's Betty. Whoop. Whoa! No way! I was right all along!
Oh, that's tremendous!
What an amazing trick! The witness has suddenly split into two people!
It's not a trick. No gimmick to it either.
We're simply twins!
What?
Twins?
So that's how the teleportation trick works!
Ever since our debut, I had to hide or pretend I'm Bonnie. All cute and sweet and goody-goody. I can't tell you how stressful it's been. But I don't have to hide anymore.
That's right! Our days of sneaking around are finally over!
The cover is blown, but they actually seem pretty happy about it.
So, which one of you is the nice Bonnie the fan we met in the dressing room? That would be me!
And the sharp-tongued Bonnie we saw with the ratings Raja on her stage was...
Hey, who are you calling sharp-tongued?
It's all starting to make sense now.
Fingerprinting results updated in the court record.
In addition to the prints from the victim and Bonnie, Betty DeFan's fingerprints were found on the top.
So that doesn't explain how they got there or what significance that has, other than finding out there was another person.
Yeah. So, Mr. Justice, this changes the facts of the case rather dramatically, doesn't it? It certainly does. During the show, it was Bonnie who was on stage the whole time. So Bonnie couldn't have committed the crime. But Betty, on the other hand, who was understage, did have the opportunity. Still can't believe they're twins, man.
Dang.
Well, so now we have two suspects.
Hold it! Wait just a minute there, lobster boy. I didn't do it.
That's right! Betty might have foul mouth, but she never kill anybody.
Hey, who's got a foul mouth here?
Oh,
Well, speak up, huh?
Hold it!
Hold it! Please save your sibling squabbling for later. Betty, you must have been in the understage passage during the show. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about the stage lifts being moved. So what exactly were you doing down there?
Fine. I'll testify. Anything to get you off my back.
Prosecutor Submati, Betty DeFam is ready to testify. What do you say?
Betty, you lied to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Hey, what else can I do? I couldn't blow our cover and ruin our magic act. Besides, am I gonna go to your twilight hell or whatever for being a liar?
You will indeed. However, it won't be after your death. Rather, I shall give you a taste of your punishment on this mortal coil in interrogation hell.
Now then, Betty DeFam, please explain to this court what exactly you were doing under the stage.
Now we're going to be working together to get to the truth.
Witness testimony time. Spill the beans, Betty. What happened under stage?
It's true. I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick.
it was the fire trick, right? The one Mr. Rios was supposed to do?
That's right. It's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we're prepared for it.
It wasn't a script, and I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident.
Shut up! You're gonna give it away! Anyway, I was real busy.
Yeah, well, you're too busy to have the chance to kill Mr. Rios.
Well, wait a minute now. Did they? The fire trick was canceled, remember?
Yep.
Well, that was certainly different. Mr. Reese's fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. Check the fire bucket itself.
Yeah, and the fire trick was canceled due to the incident.
Yeah.
Not only was it empty, but dust lines the inside of the pail, so nobody actually prepared it.
Exactly.
So that wasn't what she was doing.
Right. Here we go.
How's that for a flawless testimony and alibi?
Oh, look at this.
magic is real. It's not a trick or a gimmick.
Oh my! She's floating! Not.
Your Honor, you can see she's being held up from below.
You're supposed to pretend you didn't see that. It's a little something called etiquette.
But
I can't help it! Whenever I see a contradiction or inconsistency, I just have to point it out!
now then, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
Alright, let's find that contradiction. Cross-examination time. I'm not gonna repeat all this, so let's just see rooms. Betty says it's true, had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. Bonnie says it was a fire trick, right? Well, and then Betty says it's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure. Well, you did. How would you prepare for it?
You didn't
Fire
prepare
bucket.
for it. The fire bucket had dust in it.
Objection! I hate to break this to you, Betty, but there's a big flaw in your testimony. As big as the one net floating trick you did earlier.
Ooh, harsh words. Well, let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick.
No one except me, you mean?
Well, we have even better tricks up our sleeves.
Huh? We do?
I told you to keep it set.
now, don't fight, you two. Mr. Justice, what's this about a flaw in the testimony?
The script has this to say about the fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust.
Yeah, ouch.
You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty?
You got me.
Order! Betty defend. You will explain yourself.
Yeah, there's nothing to explain.
Come on, Betty. We can't hang it any longer. We might as well tell them.
Shut up! You can barely take care of yourself. Don't try to tell me what to do.
Well, if neither of you will explain, I guess I'll have to. The reason Betty didn't prepare for the fire trick is because she
Knew the show wouldn't go on.
Either that or she was slacking off, but we'll see. She knew the show wouldn't go on. You didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew that the body would be found and that the show would then be canceled.
Don't be ridiculous, you insignificant speck of a man. I'm gonna yank those lame bangs off yours off. Is that what you want? Huh?
Oh, yeah, how old is this woman? They're both 19. Jesus.
Objection! Whatever, they can grow back. Now stop stalling and just tell us the truth already.
Yeah, I can't reveal my secrets. I'm a magician.
Objection! You have been chasing the shadow of an illusory culprit, defense. And having chanced upon a convenient target, you have let yourself get carried away.
Exactly. Where's your proof? Huh?
And yet, I concede that the witness's taste for false words has also been proven. I advise you to confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness.
Yeah. Deceitful trickery.
Objection! Objection! As your coin-appointed therapist, I'd like to add something here, Betty. You finally let yourself be who you really are. But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again.
With all these questions mean you're trying to put me in prison for real. So I'll be behind bars either way.
Does that mean you're admitting your guilt?
Of course not! I can't believe you people! Every one of you thinks I did something I didn't do! You... Lobster Boy, Cue Ball Geezer, Head Case Brat, Cerberus Monk!
What in...
What the hell?
Oh my god, she's out of control. Cue ball? Geezer?
Head case, Brat? Really?
Hold it!
Hold it! Betty, calm down. Come on now, deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell you.
Then how did you know the show would be called off before the fire trick?
I told you, we can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract.
Uh-oh.
Contract? What is she talking about?
Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case.
Objection. I'm beginning to see the karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry that is this case.
Huh?
Allow me to summarize your assertions, defense. First, that the victim was killed in the understage passage. And second, that the witness and the accused are the only two who could have done it.
Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found, and that the magic show would then be called off. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim understage.
But what if Betty knew that the show would be called off for some other reason?
Like what?
In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it did. So did we.
Yeah,
Well, remember the timing. That, in conjunction with the body tumbling from the coffin in such a dramatic fashion, all seemed too perfect for mere happenstance.
Oh boy.
It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance.
Yeah.
Ow!
planned out?
After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything I could about the mass media in this country. I read the newspaper, old news reports. I even browsed tabloid magazines.
How very industrious of you. I'm impressed.
During this process, I learned about a strange practice favored by the TV world. A practice called the hidden camera prank. Betty and Bonnie, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, the show being suspended? You two were informed of this plan by Take-Two TV in advance, correct?
Is that true?
Betty, please, let's tell them now. I can't hold it in anymore.
Yeah. Damn it! Fine, you got us! Everything the prosecutor said is true! The TV station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan! It was all a prank! A big setup planned out in advance! Mr. Rhea showed up dead in the coffin! The set piece falling down! It was all completely scripted!
What?
What in? It was all a prank?
Frank, what?
Order! Bonnie, is this really true?
Yes. Mr. Reyes was supposed to pretend to be dead. That's how it was supposed to go.
So he was in on it too?
That's right. He was supposed to show up dead in the coffin. And then the set piece would fall down. Trucy would be shocked and start to panic.
That's how the prank script went.
What? What the heck kind of prank is that?
Well, we never thought he'd actually wind up dead.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was different from the script. Oh, Mr. Reyes.
You smell that package?
Hey, Athena, you smell that?
Smells like plot with a capital P-U.
I'm so completely lost right now. Well, Benny and Bonnie, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do.
All right. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Just this once, we'll share how it was done with you. So listen carefully. You'll never hear this kind of thing anywhere else.
Huh?
A bat.
After our teleportation trick, I went down under stage.
When Mr. Reyes' body appeared from the coffin on stage, it was time for Betty to do her job in the understage passage.
That's right. I used the remote control for Witch connected to the dragon set piece. And made it fall down.
And just before the dragon fell, I called Trucy to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt.
After that, the plan was for Mr. Reyes to come back to life in front of a panicked Trucy. He was supposed to laugh and fly up and away. That was how it was scripted anyway. But for some reason, he really did turn up dead. So he kinda just stayed on the ground.
What kind of sick joke is that?
It sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. The poor defendant was trying to do her magic show.
I guess so. I'm sorry, Trucy.
Whatever. It was all the ratings Roger's idea anyway.
Huh?
Yeah, it sounds like just the kind of thing a guy like him would come up with. This is the prank script we got from the ratings, Roger.
Blank plan script added to the court record. The corpse appearing in the set piece form were staged by Roger Rettins.
Damn it! You made us break our contract! Now we won't get paid!
But where does this all leave us? Who killed the victim and when?
Yes, exactly. Those are the key questions. If Mr. Reyes was only pretending to be dead in the coffin as part of the prank, then when he was under stage, there would still be life within him. And if that is the case, then Betty, who was also under stage, may be excluded from our list of suspects. Uh-oh.
This isn't good.
Witness, was the victim alive up until he entered the coffin?
Oh well, now that we've spilled the beans, we might as well show you this video.
Okay, here we go.
Greetings, viewers. It is I, the great Mr. Reyes. We are currently in the middle of Trucy's escape trick. Having snuck through the understage passage undetected, I am now hiding backstage, preparing to play a little prank on Trucy. I'm about to hide in the coffin, which Trucy will stab with her rubber sword. And when the coffin opens, I will be in it, acting though as I've met my maker. Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face? Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face then? Oh, I can hardly wait.
He's about to hide in the coffin?
It would seem the threads of karmic destiny have led us to the truth. The victim passed through the understage, where Betty DeFam was, and came up into the backstage area. We know this because Mr. Reyes appeared to be backstage when he shot the video we saw.
It appears that way, yes.
And defense You proposed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then, what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mr. Reyes entered the coffin.
Oh, so does that mean...
Yes, it is horrible, but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. When into the coffin where Mr. Reyes was hiding, Trucy Wright thrust her blade.
See? Told you so.
So are you saying the incident was a tragic accident that happened during a prank?
It would be an accident if the accused had no knowledge of the prank beforehand. How could she have? I mean...
We don't know.
So let us ask the accused herself. Ms. Wright, did you have prior knowledge of the prank?
What? I...
Tell him, Trucy! You didn't know anything about it, right?
Of course I didn't! I didn't know a single thing about it!
Objection. Huh. Still think you can play innocent, do you? In that case, you leave me little choice but to present this piece of evidence.
Hey, wait a minute. There's a signature down there.
Uh-oh. Bonnie, get the video camera after Mr. Reyes comes tumbling out.
Wait a second.
Oh, that dirty trickster. Oh. Dirty, rotten cheater.
Just keep it in mind, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like some sort of note.
I found this note in the dressing room after the incident. At the time, I did not understand what it meant, but all is clear to me now.
What's this?
Can we just take a look at something? Where's her contract?
Article 1, the first... Okay.
So it's the exact same signature in the exact same position.
Oh, God.
You see,
That's how he was conned. That's how she was conned, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just keep that in mind for
Absolutely.
Let's see. It says, get the video camera after Mr. Reyes comes tumbling out.
It is a note signed by the accused, instructing Bonnie to collect Mr. Reyes' video camera from him, it seems.
I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
I found it in the dressing room before the show. When I saw it, I realized that Trucy knew about the prank.
It does bear her signature, I'll give you that much.
Trucy's note headed to the court record.
A note found in the dressing room after the incident that bears Trucy's signature.
We know how it got there, though. He used the fake clipboard trick.
So the defendant had prior knowledge of the prank?
It would appear so. Yes. When she learned about the plan to trick her, she decided to use it to her own advantage. So she thrust the steel sword into the coffin, where the victim stood chuckling to himself. Is that not what happened, Ms. Wright?
Of course not! And I didn't write or sign that note!
Ah, but the handwriting matches yours. All of the evidence and testimony points to you being the culprit.
But I didn't do it! It wasn't me!
Ha! Then explain the existence of this note. You can do that, can you not?
I can't explain it. I didn't write it, so I don't understand. I didn't kill Mr. Reyes! You have to believe me!
Oh, yeah, I felt it.
The silence is deafening.
Continue struggling against the threads of your own karma if you wish, accused. Even as you are inescapably caught in the web of fate you've spun for yourself. Ms. Wright, it is time to resign yourself to your fate.
No, I didn't do it.
Ha! I knew it!
That sweet-looking girl, a murderer?
She took all of us in there with that act of hers.
I told you, I knew she was a homicidal little witch from the start.
But I didn't do it. I really didn't. Why doesn't anybody believe me?
Shut up, you killer!
Won't fall for that anymore.
This is bad.
Your Honor, I suggest we put an end to this tragedy now. Give your official ruling and let us offer the victim's soul the last rites it deserves.
Very well. I suppose I have no other choice. This court hereby finds the defendant Trucy Wright.
Objection!
Cords of steel, motherfucker.
The defense has an objection!
Apollo!
You, even now, you would.
I won't give up, and I refuse to let either of them down. Mr. Wright, who's counting on me? And Trucy, who's put all of her faith in me?
Mr. Justice, the fact that you have raised an objection means that you have evidence with which to refute the prosecution's claims, correct?
Yes, of course, Your Honor!
Do we really have anything, Apollo?
Actually, we do. There is one piece of evidence we can present here.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may proceed.
As we saw in the show footage, there's no question that the defendant thrust the sword into the coffin. The defense doesn't dispute this point. But let us not forget that this was a magic show filled with tricks and illusions. We can't take everything we see at face value.
So you're saying some sleight of hand was somehow involved?
Yes, the defense contends that the sword the defendant used was not the cause of death.
Now, what was it Trucy told me she did just before she thrust the sword into the coffin?
She swapped the swords.
Very well. Let's see your evidence then, Mr. Justice. But remember, you interrupted my verdict to make this claim. You will be severely penalized if I find you are bluffing.
That's fine, Your Honor. This shows that it's possible that the sword Ms. Wright used was not the cause of death. Gotta be the fake sword.
Yeah, it has to be.
Take
Has
that!
to be.
What's this? A sword from the show?
That's right, Your Honor. This rubber sword was in the sword stand under stage. During the trick, Ms. Wright was supposed to swap the real sword for a rubber sword. And she told us on record that she remembers very clearly that she did.
I see. So the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin was a rubber sword, was it? But then why was a steel sword found lying on the stage?
Somebody must have put the steel sword there by swapping it with the rubber one. Just after the incident occurred, the dragon set piece fell and the theater was evacuated. The real culprit must have used the resulting chaos to swap the rubber sword for the steel one.
Objection. Huh. Do you not know when to give up, stinkbug? That is not possible. Blood was found in the coffin hole that the sword was thrust into. It must have been left there when the accused withdrew the sword. This is uncontrovertible proof that the sword she used was the steel one.
Objection! But that blood could be the result of someone tampering with the crime scene after the fact. After the set piece fell and the audience was cleared out of the theater, there was plenty of time for somebody to plant that blood there.
Objection. If the sword the accused used was a rubber one, then when exactly do you propose the victim was killed, given that Mr. Reyes was alive when he entered that coffin?
Objection! Finding the answer to that question is precisely why we need to continue this trial. Yeah, let's do that.
Order! Let me express my opinion. By all accounts, it is certainly reasonable to suspect the defendant based on the evidence. But as to the question of whether the sword the defendant used was rubber or steel, I believe further discussion is warranted. I suggest we hear from the defendant herself on this issue.
Very well, Your Honor.
Yes! I saved it! Somehow. Too close for comfort, but still.
Crime photo updated in the court record.
There are traces of blood in one of the coffin's holes. It's possible the blood was placed there after the fact.
Let's adjourn for a brief 15-minute recess. I advise the prosecution and the defense to use this time to prepare.
Oh man, we got it.
I don't think it's over yet, though, folks. Meanwhile, back at the lobby, April 28th, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. I think that scumbag Rettins is in there.
That was hairy.
Tell me about it. We barely made it through by the skin of my teeth.
I can't say I'm crazy about that prosecutor Sadmati either. You know, with the way he says let it go and move on as if it's nothing.
Let it go and move on, huh?
Whoa, boy. Am I interrupting a secret conclave of villains or something?
This bastard.
Got your next evil scheme in the works already?
What do you want?
Keep making that face, champ, and everybody's gonna change the channel. Look this way, Trucy. Now smile for the camera.
You get the hell away from her, you son of a bitch!
Sorry, I had to do that.
Let's see those pearly whites. Isn't that what the Gramarye Creed tells you to do? How does it feel, Trucy? Everybody online can't stop talking about you.
I'm warning you, you scumbag!
Something's coming.
Oh, yeah.
They're calling you a real witch out there. Could this be the end of Troop Gramarye?
Go away, you creep!
Oh, what's this? Something just charged in the frame.
Note to self, don't make Athena mad.
It's Robert Downey Jr. Looks like a yellow gorilla or something. Could it be Trucy's pet?
Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse! Do you want me to get the bailiff?
Huh? Hey, how did it disappear?
Huh? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me.
Huh? What happened to the camera?
It just disappeared right before our very eyes.
Now, how could somebody make that happen, huh?
Now wait just a minute here.
Wait just a second. Rettins isn't the kind of guy that can make that happen.
He's not
right?
He's not a magician, is he? I don't know.
I'll be enjoying the rest of the Trucy show from the gallery. I put out a call for Trucy's fans to come and support her earlier, by the way.
My apologies for going off script and swearing, but I felt like it was
That's
fitting.
fine. Bet I'll get some great footage out of them. This is gonna be good. Hang loose, baby.
He called in some of Trucy's fans?
But for what purpose?
Apollo? That thing Mr. Rettins just did. That was some high-level sleight of hand.
Huh? Why would he know how to do something like that?
I don't know. He definitely has some serious magic skills.
No way! But I thought he said magicians were all a bunch of good-for-nothings!
Mr. Lawyer?
Oh, hello, Bonnie. Can I help you with something?
Well, it's something that's been bothering me.
Really? What is it?
Well, see,
Hey, dummy, what are you whispering to Lobster Boy about?
Betty.
Who the heck do you think you are? Are you crazy? You want a piece of this? You know you have to talk to me first before you do say anything, you harebrain!
Beep. But
Shut your mouth, you dumb bunny! Come with me, now!
Oh, you bitch. I wonder what was bothering her.
There's no way we're finding that out with Betty constantly hovering over her like that.
Court is about to reconvene.
Will you be all right testifying?
Yes, it's just... I wonder what Mr. Renitz has up his sleeve. I doubt he's bringing in actual fans.
Yeah, probably not.
I wonder what he has up his sleeve, too. Better not be trying to get under Trucy's skin right now, of all times.
Oops. You're Trucy Wright, and you'll be fine!
Oh! There goes Apollo with his best trick.
That's right. Whenever I'm feeling down, I always tell myself I'm fine.
All right, I'll give it a try. I'm Trucy Wright, and I'm fine. Thanks, Polly. I think I can do this now.
That a girl. Good luck up there on the stand. You'll do great.
Thanks. I'll be fine. I can do this.
All right, Justice. You can do this, too. Time to focus on the rest of the trial.
Here we go. April 28th, District Court, courtroom number 6. We are now reconvening. All rise.
Court is now back in session. Defendant, please step up to the witness stand.
Step up.
Trucy Wright, magician.
Here comes the lawyer, the deceitful witch.
Throw the moiter in jail!
Last member of that criminal troop. Oh, we don't want to see you on any stage.
Order. The gallery will be quiet or I will have you all thrown out on the spot. What's with all the hecklers?
I bet they're the fans Mr. Retton's invited.
What a great jerk. Well, he's not gonna psych us out.
Now then, Miss Wright, this court would like to know if you switched from the steel sword to a rubber one on stage. So please testify about this issue.
She's just gonna try and trick us again with her magic.
Hurry up and convict her already.
Give it a death penalty. Order! Silence! All of you! I won't tell you again!
Ms. Wright, do you feel able to testify?
Yes. I'm fine, Your Honor.
Trucy, I knew I shouldn't have let her go through with this.
I'd like to make a small request. How about, instead of testifying with words, I show you exactly what happened? Would that be all right, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves.
In spite of everything, she's still smiling.
Our Trucy is amazing, isn't she?
Sure is. She's doing just fine up there.
A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. She's faithfully following the true Gramarye creed even now. She really is something else.
It's showtime for magical girl Trucy Wright. Watch carefully now, everybody.
All right, show us what you got, Trucy. Witness testimony. The stupendous sword switch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention on this sword. Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp this blade truly is. See that? No tricks or gimmicks. A very sharp sword indeed. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take the sword and... Presto Sordo! There! I've switched it. And now... Hup! As you can see, the blade is not steel, but rubber.
Wow. Bravo, Miss Wright.
Oh, wow. She switched them in a flash.
I couldn't see her do it at all. She's completely turned the room around.
The heckles are being thrown out by all the cheering.
Where did the steel sword vanish off to, Miss Wright? In order to deepen our understanding of the case, please tell us if you would. I'm not asking out of mere curiosity, just so you know.
Sure you're not.
I usually hide the steel sword backstage when I switch them during the show.
So when you thrust the rubber sword into the coffin, the steel sword wasn't even on stage, but behind the curtain?
Exactly. So you see, there is a trick and a gimmick to it after all. And as for where the steel sword went when I performed the trick just now, it's a secret. Wouldn't want to spoil the magic for you now, would I?
Oh.
That's our Trucy.
Yeah, still. Ms. Wright, that part where you spun around, that's an actual part of the sword switching trick you do for the show, right?
Right. The other parts, like the apple, were just to help with my explanation here in court.
That's funny. I think I found an inconsistency in her testimony.
Hold on. I think I found it too.
Really?
So check it out, all right? So here we go. So she blows a kiss to Mr. Hat. And Mr. Hat flies to the right side of the room, right? So then Bonnie, says, and she's going to stab. Poof. Now the sword's right there, right? Huh. What is this?
But is it like, is it...
Now look at this. So she's... Yep, so she just flies it, right? And she didn't turn around.
Oh, that's right.
And it looks like I'm not the only one. I don't know what it's doing there. But now that I found it, I have to get to the bottom of it.
Now then, Mr. Justice, you may go ahead and question the witness. But try not to ask dumb questions and spoil this wondrous magic.
I thought this was supposed to be my cross-examination.
Let's see what story tells us anyway. But I got a feeling that
it's the third statement when she's turning around.
Right.
And it's the video that's the evidence.
Ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention on this sword. Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp this blade truly is. See that? No tricks or gimmicks. A very sharp sword indeed. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take this sword and... Presto Sordo! There, I've switched it.
Nope.
Yeah, but...
Nope.
But you didn't do so during the footage. Objection! Ms. Wright, there's something I'd like to confirm with you.
What is it, Apollo?
There seems to be a discrepancy between the way you performed the trick for us just now and the way it appears in the show footage.
What? But that can't be! I performed it exactly the same way both times!
What's going on here?
Indeed.
Ms. Wright, I have the show footage right here, and the part where you twirl your cape around is missing from it.
What? But I did it!
So,
It really is the exact moment you switched swords?
Yes, that's right.
I knew it!
Well, I certainly never expected the defense to expose the accused's lie for me.
Mr. Justice, does this mean that you are arguing that the defendant did not swap the swords during the actual magic show?
No, Your Honor. That wasn't my intention. I mean...
I did swap them. I know I did. I'm absolutely sure of it.
Objection. Human memory is unreliable at best, but in this case, I am afraid that it is the witness herself who cannot be trusted. We can see the footage for ourselves. The claims of this witness are false.
But...
Ha! Now that it has been proven that the accused did not swap swords, it means that the use of the steel sword to pierce the coffin was wholly intentional. No, it wasn't!
No!
It wasn't!
God dang it. Ugh.
And by the way, was it not you, Mr. Justice, who argued that Mr. Reyes's death was not an accident, but murder? I assume you have no objections to that still? It was, after all, your own assertion.
The defense?
Objection! Objection! The defense has an objection to you, Mr. Apollo Justice. I demand you withdraw the discrepancy you pointed out now.
But there is a discrepancy, and it must mean something. I'm sure of it.
Would the defense team kindly save their spat until after court is adjourned? Now, after all this debate, it seems we've come back around to the original argument. The defendant knew about the prank plan that would place the victim inside the coffin.
False.
What's more, the defendant did not perform the sword switching trick on stage.
That could be true because she did it. She just swapped them backstage before she went up. Through her actions, I'm afraid I have come to see the true intentions of the accused. Her murderous intentions.
It's such a shame.
But I did switch the swords. I swear.
You're knee deep in it now, Justice!
But there's got to be an explanation. Hold it.
Hold it. Excuse me.
Let's see, you are... which one again? Benny? No, that's not right. Body?
Penny, you idiot. That's not even a girl's name.
It's Bonnie. You were mixing the two names together, Your Honor.
Oh, pardon me. And do you have something you wish to say, Bonnie?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to testify.
About what?
The more I think about it, the less possible it seems. I don't believe Trucy killed Mr. Reyes.
Bonnie!
Hold it! Hey, what's the big idea?
Such an incredibly gifted and talented magician would never commit murder. I refuse to believe it.
What are you talking about, you harebrained hair? You keep your trap shut! I got a bag of baby carrots for you, so chew on those and pipe down!
No, I won't be quiet.
What's the matter with you? Didn't you hear me?
Oh, Trucy said something to me once.
Huh?
She said, no matter how scared you get, no matter how mean people are to you, you can't give in or give up. That's what being a professional magician is all about. Isn't that right, Trucy? That's right, Bonnie. I've always been afraid to stand up to Betty, afraid to defy her. So I did what she said. But when I saw Trucy today, she gave me strength.
She's just gonna try and trick us again with her magic.
Hurry up and convict you already!
Give it a death penalty. Yeah.
I'd like to make a small request. How about, instead of testifying with words, I show you exactly what happened? Would that be alright, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves. Seeing her courage, the way she kept smiling despite everything, she's just incredible. So I'm not gonna run away. I'm scared, but for once, I'm gonna be brave.
What have you done to my sister, Trucy Wright? You've practically brainwashed her.
It's the power of Trucy's conviction. That's what it is. It touched Bonnie's heart.
Yeah, Trucy really is one magical girl. Bonnie, is the topic of your testimony related to that thing that was bothering you? The thing you tried to tell us about in the lobby during the recess?
Yes, ever since I saw the show footage, something's been nagging at me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but something is off. I feel like something about it is different from what I saw on the stage.
What do you mean by that, Bonnie?
I wonder if it was shown on TV is really the same as what happened on stage.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Yikes.
Objection. Of course it is. The show has only been performed once, after all. It can't show anything other than what happened on that stage yesterday.
Looks like Objection! But Bonnie's testimony deserves our attention. We have to examine the show footage.
But what can we check it against? Do you have some other footage of the show?
Well, hang on a second. What's the date? Hold on, let me look at this. Magic show script. Okay, it doesn't have a date there. So this like, okay. Performance contract. Okay, there's no date there. No date here. There's nothing here. Because it says recorded April 27th, right?
Right.
Time of death, April 27th, approximately 10:30 a.m. Okay. Mr. Reyes' body will appear in the supposedly empty coffin, which should cause a big ruckus. After capturing a bit of Trucy Jackson on film, Mr. Reyes will come back to life laughing and flying up to the air, causing another round of surprise. And then there's this. All right, never mind. Let's keep going.
Well,
I have some show footage.
you do?
One of the TV station's cameramen said he was a fan of mine. He kept his camera on me throughout the entire show. And then, afterwards, he gave me the footage he shot as a present.
He did?
To tell you the truth, I thought it was kind of creepy, so I was going to get rid of it.
Hold it! Please submit that footage to the court. Sorry about the length. We're going to overtime. We're going to finish this.
No, we got to do it. We got to push it, dude.
Now then, let's take a look at this new footage.
All right, let's take a look here. Okay, so this is like, there's a second camera behind this.
Yep. So that's, okay, so she blew the kiss. Mr. Hat went around. Why is he looking at her feet? Okay, anyway.
I don't know.
And so,
Let's see.
poof, right?
Right. I think so.
Huh?
Did I?
What's going on?
Huh?
Yeah, and then,
There's some cards. Did you see those cards?
I sure did.
That's got to be the inconsistency here. Oh,
She ran into the camera.
Wow. Okay then. He really did keep his camera on Bonnie the whole time, didn't he?
I think this cameraman needs to keep his personal feelings out of his work.
Well, defense, do you still believe this new show footage is worth inspecting?
Of course I do.
Okay, so how are we going to go about this?
Let's try comparing the two. You just might find an inconsistency between them.
An inconsistency, huh?
Yes, the two pieces of footage are of the same scene, so they should match up. but Bonnie felt there was something off about the original footage. So if we can pick out what's different between the two,
We'll know what Bonnie found strange?
exactly. Plus, we may figure out why the original doesn't show the sword switching trick. Your Honor, the defense would like to compare these two pieces of show footage.
I think Storymo will solve this for us. Very well, I will allow it.
What a waste of time.
Apollo, do you know how to compare the two pieces of footage?
No, I've never done it before.
I'll give you a little lesson then. Use the video player's buttons to go through the footage. When you want to speed through, use the fast forward button. And if you want to go back, use the rewind button. If you want to halt the playback, just use the pause button. Oh, and by the way, if you fast forward or rewind when the playback is paused, you can do a slow frame-by-frame playback.
Okay, so how do I switch between the two videos?
Just use the switch camera button. Now, if you find a difference between the two pieces of footage, put the cursor over what's different and present it to the court.
Thanks, Athena. You really know your stuff.
Not really. I just gave it some gusto and then went with my gut on most of it.
What?
I sure hope she guessed right. Anyway, let's give it a try.
I know exactly where we're going. So check it out. All right.
Okay, you want to?
So let's fast forward.
Let me check behind. I think you want to switch the camera at that point, don't you?
Okay, so I'm gonna frame.
Freeze frame back for. There, right there.
Yep. So
Take a look at the cards.
Yep. I'm okay.
Take that. This is it right here. Take a good look at this scene and compare it to the video shot from the front.
Oh, the playing cards don't appear in the video shot from the front.
Hey, you're right. What's going on here?
Ms. Wright, what can you tell us about these playing cards?
Oh, those? They're the cards I throw when I do the sword switching trick.
What?
Mr. Justice, does this mean?
Yes, it means that the sword switching trick was cut from the TV show footage.
So the footage was edited.
Yes, with malicious intent.
That is absurd.
Well, we must get to the bottom of this right away. Bailiff, the TV station might still have the unedited footage. Go see what you can find out.
Yes, Your Honor. Hold it.
I think
That's Ren's. By the way.
Oh, there's a little bastard now.
Yeah. Hold it.
it's you.
Now hold up, Your Honor. It's all just a big misunderstanding. Believe you me. Give a guy a chance to defend himself before he start pointing fingers.
And who might you be?
Right. Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself there. Here's my business card. Charmed to make your acquaintance, Your Honor.
Oh, well, how very polite of you.
It's lovely to meet you too, Prosecutor Samadi. Please take my card. Business card. Ah, yes, I read about this custom among businessmen in this country. I have even familiarized myself with the various replies. How do you do, good sir? Or, what's crack-a-lackin', homie?
Oh my god. Are you kidding me?
Oh, gee.
Oh my.
Oh, you're from Take Two TV, are you, witness? Come to think of it, I believe I've seen you on television before.
Yes, Roger Rettins, otherwise known as the Ratings Raja.
That's how you're supposed to give your business card in Japan. You present it with two thumbs facing the recipient.
Yep. He is a TV producer and appears on many of his own shows as of late. He is best known for his catchphrase, "Hang loose, baby."
By the way, Briz, if you're watching throughout this whole stream,
Tops to you, man. Top marks to you.
Especially seeing as how late it is in London. Speaking of which, are you excited about the fact that the NFL is coming to London?
Oh my! So you're the ratings Raja.
Hang loose, judgy baby. Nice courtroom you got here.
I never thought I'd get to meet you in person.
I napped. Well, hey, there you go.
Okay. But Prosecutor Sadmati, how do you know so much about him?
Is it? I hadn't heard. Yeah, they're bringing an NFL game to London and Munich this year.
They've been doing it for quite a while now.
Yep. They've been doing London games for a couple of years now. I think it's in October.
Yeah, who knows?
In preparation for the case, I watched all of his shows. I found the ratings Raja goes to Burger Barn of particular interest.
Are you kidding me?
What? Jesus Christ. It inspired me to visit that restaurant straight away to learn more about the local cuisine.
What? You went to Burger Barn?
Jeez.
My sentiments exactly, Chuck,
Yeah, no
Your Honor. I
kidding.
mean, my goodness.
Who would have thought?
American football isn't watched here really. It's probably just for you guys' benefit for whatever reason. I mean, don't knock it till you try it, brother. That's all I'm saying. You must have really wanted to try it, huh? Eh, buddy? Because that line, whew. Compared to my ascetic training, an hour's wait is nothing. I recommend the Southwestern burger with jalapeno jack cheese, by the way.
He eats that?
I'm having a really hard time picturing him in line for burgers.
Prosecutor Sadmati's unexpected enthusiasm for food aside, Mr. Rettins, what is this misunderstanding you mentioned?
Well, for starters, it's true that the footage was edited. You'll get your hands on this anyway, so I might as well show you the unedited footage. It's a pretty long video, so I'll just show you the part with the playing cards. You can see the cards when Trucy spins around, so keep your eyes peeled. Here we go.
All right.
Hey!
Oh ho! There we go.
Did you see the part that was cut when Trucy switched the swords? She spins around, the playing cards go flying. Everything's like it's supposed to be.
And it seems the defendant really did swap swords during the trick. Which means the sword Miss Wright thrust into the coffin was the rubber one. In other words, Miss Wright couldn't have killed Mr. Rios.
Hold it. Yeah, see? That's the first misunderstanding right there.
What do you mean?
Well, Trucy definitely did swap swords, as you saw. So yeah, maybe she didn't kill Mr. Reyes when she stabbed the coffin. But that just means he was killed after he showed up pretending to be a corpse.
So you're saying that up until that point, everything was going according to the script? If that's true, then when and how exactly do you think he was killed?
It was after the dragon set piece came crashing down. I say Trucy murdered Mr. Reyes when she was hidden from view behind the set piece. That's not true. She ran away. She could have easily done it behind that huge dragon, and nobody'd be the wiser.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I see. Indeed, there is a ring of truth to your assertion. You bet. Plus, there's a suspicious-looking shadow in the footage, too. It's toward the end of the footage, just before the dragon hits the stage. It's Mr. Hat.
Yeah, but what about the one before?
It might be easier to just see it for yourselves. Okay?
So I think that was Mr. Rios one.
It's only for a split second, so it's hard to catch, but look here.
Yeah.
This suspicious shadow must be Trucy. No, it's not. She's using the steel sword she hid behind the curtain during the trick to kill the victim.
No.
Oh, that's not true either.
Now that you mention it, I suppose it does look that way.
Objection!
Objection!
This witness is just trying to ram his theory down our throats, Your Honor. And that's not all. Aren't we forgetting that the witness willfully edited the sword switch out of the footage?
Hold it. You see, there's your second misunderstanding right there. Your Honor, would you mind if I testified about it? I've seen people testify on TV, and I've always wanted to give it a shot.
That would be fine with me. Prosecutor Sadmati?
This is quite unexpected. It threatens to disrupt the karmic course of this case. Hey, lighten up, pretty boy. You're gonna like what I gotta say. Promise. Very well. However, if you do anything to impede the last rites for the victim, I will have you removed.
All right. With Prosecutor Sadmati's permission, please give us your testimony, Mr. Rettins.
Roger Rettins, the ratings Raja. Now Kaiser of the courtroom. I'm taking over the floor. So listen up, loyal viewers.
All right, spill the beans, you dumb. Spill the beans, you scumbag. It wasn't deliberate, I tell you.
Footage is meant to be edited, I tell you. Scenes are spliced together and long and boring scenes are cut out. All the stations edit footage this way. One like it was done maliciously or something. It's just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. Wasn't intentional. Or what? You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage?
Yeah, you do.
Damn right you do.
Yeah. Remember that fake contract?
I sure do.
I see. So you're saying it was a coincidence that the sword swapping scene was cut?
That's right. Glad you got the picture.
Objection! Coincidence? That's just a little too convenient if you ask me.
Ooh, an objection. How cool. Sure packs a lot more punch when you hear it live. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle.
My objection is not for your entertainment.
And cut. There. Got some good stuff there.
Mr. Rettins, filming is prohibited inside the courthouse.
Whoops. My bad, Judge.
And if the defense has an issue, it can point it out during its cross-examination.
All right.
All right. So I think I know where.
All right, Apollo, go get this son of a bitch.
Yeah, absolutely. So so I'm gonna go to the spot where I think we need to go. So
Yeah, we're not even gonna talk.
scenes are spliced together, longer boring scenes are cut out. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously. It's just a coincidence a particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Or what? You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage? Oh, he's going backwards, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some more information or something.
Hold it! Of all the scenes you could have cut, why the sword switching trick? That seems like too much of a coincidence to me.
So now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my programs, big shot? It's hard being the boss, kid. Gotta make the tough choices, like which content gets cut.
Then let me ask you this. Why exactly did you make such a tough choice in this case?
You wouldn't understand, champ. It's all about artistic vision. Let's see here. I'll tell you, people tell you how to do your job when they don't know the first thing about it.
I may not know TV, but I know evidence law. And boy, do I have some for you, champ.
I might not be able to show that your selective editing was intentional. However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it. 3, 2, 1.
It's either this or this, but
Gotta be the clipboard.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Take that!
Huh? What's that you got there?
This is the contract you had Miss Wright sign just before the magic show.
I probably could have done either one of those.
This contract between the first party, Take Two TV, and the second party, Ms. Wright, reads, If through the fault of the second party the show must be canceled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party.
$3 million? That's a completely unreasonable sum.
I couldn't agree more, and of course, Ms. Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Rettins had her sign this unreasonable contract anyway. Or more accurately, he conned her into signing it.
Conned her? How did he do that?
There's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Ms. Wright to sign her contract. It houses carbon paper that can secretly copy her signature onto other documents.
Oh, come on now. That's quite a nasty accusation you're slinging my way. For starters, you don't have any proof I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff. That's because Trucy and her agency can't pay up. That doesn't mean I conned her.
That's $3 million. That's totally out of reach for the average person. In any case, this is important new information. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Rettens.
Where's your proof linking me to that tricked out clipboard? You don't have any, do you?
Oh, you bet your ass I do, you son of a bitch.
Objection!
Yeah, we got him.
You must be quite the con man if you could fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken.
Hey, kid, what a kind to enunciate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster.
Think of the viewers. I'd like you to take a look at Ms. Wright's signature here on this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here on this contract.
Oh, it's exactly the same.
Well, would you look at that? They're exactly the same.
That's right, Your Honor. Not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign their name in exactly the same way twice, unless it's a copy. These signatures are proof positive that you conned Miss Wright. And they definitively prove your malicious intent.
Say, not bad, lawyer guy. Didn't know you had it in you. This is really getting interesting now. It'll get great ratings for sure.
Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Rettens. The fact is that you bear ill will against my client, so the show footage was definitely edited with malicious intentions. Isn't that right? Objection.
Objection. What a forced argument, defense. All you have really proven is not his ill will towards Miss Wright, but his pecuniary greed. That's right. I just wanted money, baby. Fat stacks of cheddar, that's all. After all, I'd never even crossed paths with Trucy before this magic show, so I'd have absolutely no reason to bear her any ill will, right?
He didn't bear her any ill will, huh? Fat chance. This guy definitely has some major hate for Trucy.
You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those Gramarye magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes.
I can't prove it with anything, but the things he said all point to that fact. There must be something between the two of them that gave birth to this grudge. Some sort of connection that not even Trucy is aware of.
Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Rettens and Trucy Wright must have crossed paths before. There must be some hidden connection between them.
Hidden?
Connection?
What is it now?
Just what are you getting at, Mr. Justice?
It is futile to even ask, Your Honor. Surely it is just another one of the defense's feckless claims.
Objection! You don't seem to have a very high opinion of me, but once you hear my argument, you'll wish you'd taken me a whole lot more seriously.
Will I really? Very well then. Do proceed.
Did you figure something out, Apollo?
Nope, not a thing.
What?
That was just some good old-fashioned bluffing, courtesy of Mr. Wright's fine training.
I hope you know what you're doing.
If you're going to make such a bold claim, Mr. Justice, I hope you're ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Rettins.
Rettins is a magician too, because remember that camera trick in the lobby?
Yes!
That sleight of hand trick Mr. Rettins did during the recess over there.
Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff?
Shoof. Huh? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me.
What if Mr. Rettins is a magician too?
What if? I believe it's up to the defense to fill in the blanks, not me.
Well, if he is, he may have had some contact with Ms. Wright somewhere along the way.
Objection. Your argument is hardly worth responding to. But, by all means, please do continue. As a passage in the sacred scriptures of Koreanism states, he who gives a sermon to a monkey is himself a monkey. Again with the monkey talk. Yeah, doesn't matter what you say to a dimwit, he ain't gonna get it anyway.
But we saw Mr. Rettins perform a magic trick. He made his video camera disappear in the blink of an eye.
Well, I think it would be pretty funny if I were a magician. You must have been seeing things. Want me to introduce you to a good eye doctor? If a connection as tenuous as that is all it takes, then every magician in the country could potentially bear ill will toward the accused.
I guess you're right.
Well, hang on, he's not just any magician. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, short stuff? You would do well to cleanse that putrid mind of yours in the holy waters of Mount Pony Pony. Dumb, stupid name. 3 days under a frigid waterfall, and even you should rise to the level of a monkey. A numbskull for a numbskull.
Ugh. Well, this numbskull has thick skin, so there!
I think I get what they're driving at. Even if he is a magician, it's not exactly a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy, is it?
Hold on. I can think of one person, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy. Or rather, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Troop Gramarye.
Oh?
No way!
Is something wrong, Mr. Justice?
Your Honor, the defense wishes to submit evidence at this time.
I see. And what sort of evidence do you have for us?
Evidence that points to the real killer, the one who had a motive to commit this crime.
What?
And what have you come up with this time, defense?
Trucy Wright is the sole heir to Troop Gramarye and its name. This puts her square in the crosshairs of one particular magician. One particular magician. And this piece of evidence points to that one person with a grudge against Miss Wright.
The poster.
And who exactly are you naming, Mr. Justice?
13 years ago, the great Mr. Rias belonged to Troop Gramarye. But then the troop ousted him, and Mr. Rias vowed to get revenge on them someday. And what better way to accomplish that than through the ruination of their sole heir?
Mr. Rias is the victim, Mr. Justice. You've named a dead man as your suspect.
I don't think so. But is he really dead?
What do you mean, is he really dead?
If the fact that Mr. Rias is a victim is what's throwing you off, then how about we consider this possibility? What if the man who died on that stage yesterday wasn't Mr. Rias?
Oh. Who would it have been?
What? You mean the victim was an imposter?
Not Mr. Rias? Then what about the real Mr. Rias?
it would mean the real Mr. Reyes is still alive.
That's absurd. I mean, what?
But who? Could that be?
What? Huh? What?
Order! Mr. Justice, who is the real Mr. Reyes if not the victim of this case?
It's all coming together now. I finally see the gimmick, the trick to this entire case.
This should explain everything, Your Honor. The real killer, the one who hated Troop Gramarye and wanted to sully its name, the magician lurking in the shadows who set up a fake Mr. Reyes in his stead.
Right, because he doesn't have any injuries on his arm.
The real Mr. Reyes is Roger Rettins! Take that! But that's... Yes, it is. Roger Rettins is the real Mr. Reyes! What?
Him?
What?
Objection! Silence! Oh, hollow red pepper, your impotent seeds sprout naught but meaningless empty words. You can't possibly have proof to support such an outlandish theory. It's not a bad idea for a soap opera. Not even die-hard fans of the genre would stick around past the pilot.
You want proof? Well, I've got proof. I can prove it by proving that the Mr. Reyes in yesterday's magic show was a fake. And to do that, I just need you to look at this spot on this poster. 3, 2, 1.
Take that!
This is the injury Mr. Reyes sustained while practicing a magic trick 13 years ago. However, the video the victim shot of himself shows no trace of that injury. Oh my, you're absolutely right. Now, Mr. Rettins, what do you suppose we'd find if we took a look at your right forearm? Is there by chance a nasty 13-year-old scar under that sleeve of yours? Well, Mr. Rettins, why don't you roll up your sleeve and let the court have a look? Or are you hiding something else up there?
Come on now. I have nothing up my sleeve. I don't need to hide anything up there because I require no tricks or gimmicks. For you see, my magic is the real deal.
Uh-oh. Huh? Oh my God, it's him!
Is this what you were hoping to see?
Oh, there it is! The scar!
Just as I thought.
That's right. I am the forgotten magician, abandoned to the dark understage of history. Hup, hup. The great Mr. Reyes.
Huh? This
It's totally...
Absurd!
I don't believe this! He is Mr. Reyes? What?
Oh, how ironic, wouldn't you say? That this odious mark carved into me by Troop Gramarye would bring me back into the limelight once more. Strange are the karmic threads before me. If the witness is the real Mr. Reyes, then who is the victim who perished in the magic show? He was but a fan. I met him on one of my programs several years ago. He said he had become a magician out of admiration for the great Mr. Reyes. In confidence, I told him my true identity and let him take on my mantle.
And when did this man take over for you?
About 2 years ago, I taught him my tricks and even acted as his producer. And so, A mere amateur became a popular magician overnight, courtesy of my magic on the stage we call television. Hope you enjoyed the show.
You really had us all fooled.
Mr. Rettins, or should I say, Mr. Rias, in your hatred of Troop Gramarye, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery, and then set up Ms. Wright to take the fall, didn't you? You did it all just to tarnish the Gramarye name!
I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. I set up the prank, that much is true. But it was simply a harmless joke on Trucy, I assure you. Yet she learned of the plan and made use of it to commit murder. That is how strongly the criminal element runs in the blood of these Gramaryes.
Objection! But if it was a secret prank plan that very few people knew about, couldn't you have been the one to use it for murder instead?
Gah!
Yikes! Ugh!
His head!
Just kidding.
What the heck was that?
Heed my words, lawyer lad, for I fear your grasp on reality is slipping. I do believe I told you that my magic is real. It employs neither tricks nor gimmicks.
Enough of the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already?
My alibi is as pristine as ever. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Sadmati? Yes, I suppose that is correct. The witness does have a solid alibi.
What?
He was at the TV station.
Right.
Huh. Recall, defense, that at the time of the magic show, Mr. Rettins was at Take Two TV, a fact that many people can easily attest to.
God.
That's right. I forgot all about that.
Ho ho ho! So what do you think, Your Honor? Would you like me to testify on the matter?
Yes, I think you'd better. Please tell the court more about your alibi.
Ha! Very well then. On with the show. Are you watching, magnified Gramarye? The time has finally come for my magic to snuff out your precious pedigree. The Gramarye line will be no more.
Well, time for a little witness testimony.
This jackass.
My perfect alibi.
I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim. And there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth.
Tear it apart. Well,
Yeah, we'll get him.
yeah, get story mode out.
Do you understand now, perhaps? I did not grace the theater with my presence till after the incident. So how could I have committed the murder?
The staff did say he was there at the station, so it sure does sound like a rock-solid alibi.
But that can't be right. If Mr. Rettins is the killer, he'd had to have been at the theater.
Maybe not. Remember, there was that shadow that fell up, that went up just as the stage fell down.
Right.
So,
But there was another shadow that just went up before the thing disappeared, right?
well, yeah, anyway.
There's got to be a hole somewhere in his story.
I assure you there are no holes on Mr. Reyes' stage. Ha! No tricks, no gimmicks. True magic doesn't need trapdoors to escape through. Do enjoy my show to the fullest. And my real alibi.
All right, Apollo, go get this son of a bitch. My perfect alibi.
I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance.
Hold it! But you did come to the theater eventually, isn't that right?
Indeed. Anxious to see how the show was progressing, I made my way to the theater. Let's see. My journey took about 10 minutes by car.
Could he actually have been at the theater during those 10 minutes killing the victim?
Ho ho ho! Allow me a stab at reading your mind. Aha! Could I have been at the theater during those 10 minutes killing the victim?
How in the...
But no, I took a taxi. The driver can attest to that. Feel free to call the taxi company if my word does not satisfy you. The driver is a big fan of the ratings, Raja. I even gave him my card.
He gave the driver his card? That was very clever of him.
Might as well give it up, lad. Questioning real magic is a fool's errand. Besides, you know very well what I was doing at the time of the incident. I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim.
Hold it! Hold it! How do we know those staff members aren't in cahoots with you?
I make it my business to perform solo. My magic has neither need nor want of assistance. After all, one of them could reveal the secrets behind my magic, could they not?
So he doesn't trust anybody, huh? He's a complete opposite of Trucy.
There were many people there in the studio audience who saw the witness as well. Even if he had been able to persuade his own staff to cover for him, he could not have convinced so many complete strangers to do the same.
He really has made a rock-solid alibi for himself.
Yeah, it's almost too good, you know?
It's eerie how perfect it is.
Something's up. Has all been revealed to you now? And there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth.
Hold it! I've got it! Do you have a brother? A brother that looks exactly like you, maybe?
Again with the twins business? You think the audience would let you get away with using the same gimmick twice in a row? If you do not believe him, defense, why not investigate for yourself? Though I am sure your efforts will prove to be thoroughly fruitless.
Yeah, I guess the twins theory is a little far-fetched.
Uh-oh.
His alibi really is airtight.
I believe we've heard enough. While I believe the witness does indeed harbor some ill will against the defendant, there is no reason to doubt that he was at the TV station at the time of the incident.
Yes, the facts prove it was impossible for the witness to have been involved with this crime. These last rites for the victim have dragged on long enough. The soul of the victim himself is so bored that it is resting on top of your Honor's head.
It is?
The time has come. Let us punish the sinner and guide the victim's soul to the Twilight Realm.
Apollo, Trucy will be thrown in prison, and we'll be out of a job. But if you catch tasty fishies, will you sell me some at a good price?
I told you I have absolutely zero intention of going off on a tuna boat!
Think, Justice. You have to figure this out. It's no use. I can't find a single flaw. So what now?
Turn the thinking upside down.
Yes.
Ho! Behold, my never-ending magic show. Come for the awe-inspiring showmanship of the great Mr. Reyes, and stay for my grand illusion until the end of time. Ha 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 ha!
Wait, is he saying that we're still trapped inside some sort of illusion of his?
That's what professional magicians do. They make their audience see something that isn't really there.
In other words, you make us see illusions, right?
We call it misdirection. While we keep you busy believing one thing, we're busy making something else happen. What we say is there really isn't, and what we say isn't there actually is.
Oh!
Could it be?
You know what, Mr. Rettins? I guess we have all been spectators to the elaborate illusion you've prepared for us. An illusion that has suddenly turned our attention towards something you wanted us to see.
What are you going on about, lad?
Have you got something, Apollo?
I just remembered something Trucy said about misdirection. What a magician says is there really isn't, and what they say isn't there actually is. If we've all been taken for a ride by Mr. Rettins' magic, then maybe he's made us see something that wasn't really there.
It's time to rethink all my assumptions about this case. What if we've been made to believe was there when it actually wasn't? What if we taken to be the absolute fact of this case?
Mr. Rection? Is that Mr. Rios' friend? Oh, no.
If I reevaluate the validity of all these things, then just maybe.
Athena? There's something uncanny about this case.
Okay, what is it?
Renton's alibi. It's too perfect.
That's true. It's like it's impossible to break, no matter how hard we try.
But maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's exactly what he wants us to think.
I'm not following.
We're not making any headway here because we've been so focused on breaking his alibi.
Oh, I think I get it. You're saying he's using misdirection on us, right?
It's definitely a possibility.
Would the defense care to share with everyone what it's discussing over there?
Your Honor, we believe that if we were to reconsider a certain assumption, we may finally arrive at the truth. In fact, I think we'll even finally see who's hiding behind the curtain, so to speak.
What is this certain assumption you're thinking of?
This is the one key assumption we've been taking for granted this whole time.
The culprit, the culprit was on scene.
What if the culprit was somewhere other than the theater at the time of the crime? What if there was some way to commit the murder without actually being there? If that were the case, then Mr. Renton's perfect alibi would become irrelevant.
Objection. How could one person stab another to death with a sword without physically being there? By putting it on a winch!
Yeah.
Furthermore, we all saw what appears to be the culprit's shadow in the footage.
Objection! But couldn't we just as easily assume that the shadow does not belong to the culprit?
Well, if it's not the culprits, then whose is it?
Oh, I know what happened.
I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track.
We've all seen something that looks like this shadowy shape before, Your Honor, during the magic show itself.
Mr. Hat's cape ripped on the way up!
Yes!
So the sword was hiding in the roof!
Yes!
In that case, please point it out in the show footage for us.
This is the thing that looks suspiciously similar to the shadowy figure of the culprit. All right, pause. Can you pause? Can you step? Just step. Just keep stepping.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
All right, just keep playing.
Well, just let me know when to pause it, I guess. Oh, I know.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Poof. And right there. Go back one. Go back a step. There you go, right there. Take that! See?
He used Mr. Hat to kill him.
Doesn't this shadow resemble the suspicious shadowy figure?
Now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it?
Ms. Wright, could you identify this shadow for the court?
Let's see. I believe that's Mr. Hat's shadow. It's from when he's being pulled up from the stage to the catwalk overhead by wire.
Then could this shadow that's shown later in the footage be Mr. Hat too?
No, that's not possible. After Mr. Hat was pulled up to the catwalk, he stayed up there.
In other words, this second shadow is from some other figure being pulled up.
Some other figure? I'm afraid you'll need to be more specific than that, Mr. Justice.
He's right. We've come this far. I'll just have to figure it out from the clues I have on hand.
What is the second shadow shown in the footage?
If we consider what was happening on the stage at the time, there is only one answer. The shadow belonged to the fake Mr. Rias. In other words, Mr. Man of Mystery.
The victim?
Please take a look at the prank plan script. Mr. Mystery was to pretend to be dead and then fly up into the air after that. Isn't that right, Mr. Rettins?
Indeed. And what of it?
I contend that that's exactly what happened. The victim was wearing a stunt harness around his waist. It was most likely attached to a stunt wire so that he could be pulled up into the air.
So you're suggesting that after pretending to be dead in the coffin, the victim flew up into the air just as the prank script says?
Exactly. We just couldn't see him go flying up because the dragon was blocking our view. And that last trick, ladies and gentlemen, is the true piece de resistance of the culprit's murderous magic show.
Don't tell me you've got it all figured out.
Yes, I think so. If we could just look beyond Miss Reddens' last bit of misdirection, we should finally be able to see the real truth.
The victim must have been pulled up to the catwalk, just like Mr. Hat, and hit the cushioning up there with considerable force. I just have to figure out what else happened up there at that time.
Are you ready to elaborate, Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
In that case, please answer me this. Why did the culprit make the victim fly up into the air like that?
To murder him.
Just why did the culprit have the victim fly up after he appeared in the coffin? And how did the victim actually die when he was only pretending to be dead in the coffin? If we can figure out how these two questions relate, the answers should become clear.
Could it be?
Mr. Mystery must have thought he was still just part of a prank when he appeared on stage. He probably didn't suspect a thing as he was being pulled into the air after Ms. Wright was called backstage and just as the set piece fell. But the culprit had already planted the real murder weapon in a cushion in the catwalk. It was probably a knife or blade of some sort.
What? You mean...
Yes, it really was a magical murder. Just as the prank script said, Mr. Mystery was whisked up into the air. He was whisked up into the air and straight into a blade there in the catwalk. In other words, this murder was committed remotely through the use of a magic trick.
What?
Remotely? Using this method, it wouldn't matter where Mr. Rettins was at the time of death.
No. What?
But how exactly does it work, Mr. Justice?
Well, let's see. Just before the murder occurred, the dragon set piece was up in the catwalk. It and Mr. Man of Mystery were connected to each other by a wire at the time. By carrying out the prank plan, Betty made the dragon set piece fall, which caused Mr. Mystery to rocket straight up and into the blade in the cushion. The cushion was high up enough to be hidden from the audience's view. That's why nobody saw the blade.
Oh, then that big gash in Mr. Hat's cape.
The blade must have been set up overhead sometime before the magic show. Mr. Hat must have been slashed by it too when he was pulled up to the cushion.
Hold it!
Hold it! I can't believe it! I had no idea! I was told that Trucy would freak out if I made the set piece fall. That's the only reason I did it!
You were used, Betty. Roger Rettins used you.
I thought it was my little puppet to boss around, but it was the other way around.
after the incident occurred, Mr. Reddens arrived at the theater. He got the murder weapon and swapped the rubber sword with the bloodied steel one. That's also when he lowered the victim's body down to the stage.
But how did he have time to do all that?
When the set piece fell, the audience was evacuated from the building. He was able to do all those things after the fact because there was no one around to see.
A horrific murder camouflaged by a spectacular magic show? That sounds like the kind of murder only a magician could pull off.
As long as the show proceeded as it was scripted, Mr. Mystery was doomed to die. That's why it was you, Mr. Reddens, who killed the victim all the way from the TV station. This prank plan, or should I say murder plan, proves your murderous intent.
Yeah! Gramarye! Satura!
Satura ima o mandomo samashi de tashi no ketarigase yo soro ka?
What do you got?
I said I wanted pork. What are you talking about? Enough. You dim-witted, ignorant, imbecilic, putrid red pepper.
He can't possibly have a counter-argument to make. Talk about not knowing when to let it go and move on.
Do you have a rebuttal or something, Prosecutor Sadmani?
No blade of any kind was found in the catwalk, which means you have no evidence to support your theory.
But Mr. Reddens retrieved it after the fact.
Prove it, dipshit. Which still leaves you with no way to prove your wildly fantastic remote murder theory.
But
without proof, does it not make more sense to believe that the murder was committed there on the stage? That's where the bloodstained sword was found, after all.
That is a very good point.
As the only person who could have committed the crime there on that stage, Trucy Wright remains the prime suspect. It would appear that what you call truth is little more than a cheap parlor trick. In the end, you have done nothing to prove the accused's innocence. It is time to at last to let it go and move on. Oh, are you seeing this, magnified Gramarye? My magic is exacting punishment on your granddaughter. The Gramarye name is done for.
Apollo, we need to hit them with a decisive piece of evidence here.
I know! That's just what I was thinking!
Mr. Justice, do you or don't you have anything to prove that the witness committed this remote murder you proposed?
Of course I do, Your Honor!
This entire incident was carried out exactly according to the script.
Right, so theoretically, there should be no evidence for us to find or use, which means our best bet is to see if something unscripted happened.
There's gotta be something Wright couldn't have foreseen. And once I find it, that's how it exposes murder's trick.
Get ready, Mr. Rettins, because I'm about to reveal the secret to your magic. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, just some good old-fashioned logic.
How about that scream, by the way?
Ah, that's good. I like it. Time to visualize, Apollo.
As long as the magic show went as scripted, murder wouldn't happen without fail. Everything in this case was carefully planned so that no evidence would be left behind. Still, one thing happened that definitely wasn't in the plan. What part of the magic show wasn't a part of the show's original script?
Bonnie's mistake. Yep.
Bonnie made a mistake.
Bonnie made a mistake during Trucy's escape trip. What mistake did Bonnie make during the magic trick?
Mr. Hat.
I love that one. Her life choices. Mr. Hat's positioning.
Mr. Hat was placed in the wrong spot.
Because Bonnie placed Mr. Hat to the right of the coffin instead of to the left, Trucy had to reappear on the side of the coffin opposite to the one that shows the script. But the culprit didn't know that when he first arrived at the theater.
That's why he edited the footage.
Which means he was bound to make a slip-up when he tampered with the crime scene. Which part of the culprit's cover-up attempt was affected by Trucy's new position?
It's either the edited show footage or the blood in the coffin
How about
hole.
fingerprints on blood in the coffin hole? The blood was on the wrong side of the coffin, too.
Oh.
Thinking Trucy had appeared on the left, the culprit must have put the blood in the left hole.
Can we just take a look at that again real quick? I don't see it.
Nah.
Anyway.
But the blood was eventually discovered in the right hole during the police investigation. If the killer had originally put the blood on the left side, that means he must have tampered with the scene again afterwards to make it line up with the facts.
Yep.
To make the crime scene consistent with the facts, the culprit must have swapped the coffin sides.
Boom! Oh boy. Yup. The culprit swapped the coffin sides.
That's right! The left and right panels of the coffin are interchangeable. The culprit must have switched the two panels to make the bloodstain fit the facts. But the switch might have also given rise to something unnatural.
The reversal of the position of his hands.
Oh, I remember now. There was something unnatural about the coffin, and it's just the evidence I need.
Put him away, Justice. Sorry, Mr. Rettins, but I have some very conclusive proof of your guilt.
Another bluff, is it? There's no way you have anything of the kind. My magic is real, no trick.
Objection! No, there are tricks and gimmicks to it, just like any other illusion.
What?
After the murder, you switched the left and right panels of the coffin, didn't you?
Gah!
And because you did, you left behind something very unnatural for us to find. This proves that Roger Rettins tampered with the crime scene after the murder took place.
Take that!
The fingerprinting results.
What about the fingerprints is unnatural?
Let's take a look at the prints the victim left inside the coffin, shall we? If the victim was facing forward in the coffin, his prints should have looked like this. However, what we found was they were facing the opposite direction. It's quite unnatural for the prints to be facing this way. Wouldn't you agree?
It is strange, isn't it? But how did they get this way?
They got this way because the culprit thought the magic show had gone according to script. The culprit thought Mr. Hat would be on the left side of the coffin, and that Ms. Wright would also pop up to the left of the coffin as per the show's script. He then assumed she had thrust the sword into the hole of the left side of the coffin. That's why he put blood in the left hole when he was trying to cover up his crime. But sometime after leaving the bloodstain, the culprit must have realized his mistake. He found out that, due to Bonnie's mistake, Mr. Hat was to the right of the coffin. And that despite the script, Miss Wright had thrust the sword into the hole on the right. In short, the hole with the blood on it was on the side opposite the one that Trucy used. To make the blood's location fit the facts, he had to tamper with the evidence yet again. So he tried to cover his tracks by switching the coffin's left and right panels.
Oh, and that's how the fingerprints in that coffin ended up backwards.
Because the culprit switched the two side panels around.
That's the judge.
Because the culprit switched the two side panels around, the prints ended up facing the opposite direction. But instead of going through all that trouble with the panels, why didn't the culprit just wipe the blood away and redo it on the other side?
I'm afraid that wouldn't have worked, Your Honor, because of a little something called luminol testing.
Ah, right, luminol. I almost forgot. Luminol can detect trace amounts of blood even if it's been wiped away, right?
That's right. Wiping the blood away would have only served as proof of his meddling. How about it, Mr. Reddins? I did a pretty good job figuring out your trick, didn't I?
Objection. Trucy Wright could have done the same just as easily. You have no proof that it was this witness who tampered with the evidence.
Objection! But I do have proof.
What?
A person who was in the magic show would never have made the mistake of putting the blood on the wrong side. Least of all Ms. Wright, who surely would have remembered she was on the other side.
Oh my, you're absolutely right.
Why, you impudent!
I'm sure you've realized by now, Prosecutor Sadmati, that your claim that Ms. Wright is the culprit just doesn't hold up.
You and the accused are most certainly bound for hell.
Objection! Really? Ms. Wright and I? Because I think you're the one with a ticket there for trying to convict an innocent girl.
Prosecutor Sadmati, are you all right?
As for the true culprit, he is someone who knew how the show was supposed to go, but didn't actually see it, and someone who had the chance to tamper with the crime scene after the incident. And the only person who fits the bill is you, Roger Rettins.
Gramarye!
All the secrets to your tricks have been revealed. And with no magic tricks left, I'm afraid your show's been canceled permanently.
Oh boy, I hope I can do this justice.
Oh yeah.
All of my secrets have been revealed, you say? Don't make me laugh, boy. Mine is the true real magic. There are no secrets to reveal. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the true power of the great Mr. Reyes. Witness a magic far greater than Troop Gramarye's. Burn!
Talassa,
Crumble!
Volant,
Fall to my furious flames! The great Mr. Reyes will bring an end to you all!
Magnify.
And now for the final heir to the Gramarye name. Right here, right now, you too shall burn. Huh?
Uh-oh.
No, this isn't right. Huh?
Gotcha, bitch.
No, I didn't do anything wrong. No, it's not my fault. I'm not the one to blame. I'm the victim here. What? Stop! No! Curse you, Gramarye!
Well done, my friend. He thought it was Trucy, but nope, it was him.
And I apologize. We apologize to our neighbors in advance or after the fact. Curse those Gramarys! It's all because of them. Even now they wound me. Curse them all to the abyss!
Do you really hate us that much? Does your hatred run that deep? Deep enough to kill an innocent man?
You're damn right. You have no idea what humiliations I had to suffer. Your grandfather, Magnified Gramarye, kicked me out after I got hurt practicing my magic. He said I was too unskilled, that I would mess up on stage. He threw me out of the troupe just because he was worried about his own reputation. Since I was but a child, it was always my dream to become a great magician. But that Magnify, he took it all from me.
But that's no excuse. That's no reason to do something so evil. Magic is supposed to make people happy, not use as means for murder!
What's the big deal? I just used what I had available to me, that's all.
I get it now. That attitude toward magic is why my grandfather kicked you out. You don't deserve to call yourself a magician!
Whoa, that's cold. Whew.
Wait a minute.
Don't deserve? I don't know about that.
Oh boy. He's not done yet.
After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for that lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak.
You're right. I didn't see through your tricks.
You see? So in the end, Troop Gramarye was defeated by the great Mr. Reyes. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy Wright. You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn.
Now that's cold.
Take that, Gramarye! You lose!
If anyone needs to learn to let it go and move on, it's this guy.
Well said, Apollo.
Yep.
This court and my prison can both burn in the flames of my creation.
Bailiff, take Mr. Rettins away and bring a fire extinguisher just to be safe.
Yeah, no shit.
Roger Rettins.
You're under arrest. Whew.
It looks like we've reached the end. I feel as though I've been watching a grand magic show.
It was close, but we just barely made it through somehow. Huh? Why does Trucy look so down?
Ms. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
I'm about to announce my verdict. Could I see that wonderful smile of yours? That smile of a true entertainer, as I do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then,
This court finds the defendant, Trucy Wright. And now for my next magic trick, we're gonna make your charges disappear all at once. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da!
Not guilty! Yay! Trucy, let's go! Woo!
Your show can go on now.
Damn right. Up top, baby.
Can't wait.
court is adjourned.
3 words I thought I would never hear.
Oh my God.
Hey, Athena, Apollo, you can cry now, because it's all over.
April 28th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. It's been 3.5 hours, but boy,
Was it worth it.
oh yeah.
Thank you for everything, Polly. Oh, Trucy, grazie a Dio. Now you can open your show tomorrow, just as planned. Yep, and it's all thanks to you two. Oh, but now that Mr. Reyes is gone, I'll need to find somebody to replace him.
She's got that look in her eyes.
I don't like the way she's looking at me.
Trucy, I'm so sorry about everything.
Hey, what are you apologizing for? Roger Rettins used us. We're victims too. He even made me an accomplice to murder.
Betty, we have to take some of the blame for this too, you know. Even if we didn't know he was planning to kill Mr. Mystery, we did cooperate with him.
It's all my fault, isn't it?
Neither one of you is to blame. The only one in the wrong is the person who used magic to commit murder, Roger Rettins.
Don't you think I know that? Say what you want, but don't think for a second that I don't still you.
I guess she really does hate me. But Betty, why? He used to be a huge fan of Trucy's.
Hey, shut up! I've always hated her.
Really? But if we hadn't seen Trucy's magic show, we never would have tried to become professional magicians ourselves, right?
Speak for yourself.
But Betty, you still have my...
God, just shut up.
But Betty, you still have an autograph from that day.
I said shut it.
Was she acting that way this whole time because she secretly loves Trucy?
I doubt it.
Wow, Trucy, I never knew that being the best could be so tough.
Come on, Betty. Come on, Bonnie. We're leaving. We have to get ready for tomorrow's show.
You're really excited about performing with Trucy again, aren't you?
That's not true, so zip it, dummy.
Polly, do you think I really am a naive greenhorn?
Oh, stop it.
Oh, so stop it.
Huh?
No way. She's not.
Yeah, she's downing herself again.
After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for that lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak.
You're right. I didn't see through your tricks.
You see? So in the end, Troop Gramarye was defeated by the great Mr. Reyes. Oh, you're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy Wright. You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn.
Trucy, don't tell me you're taking what Redden said to heart.
Well, maybe a little. I didn't see through his tricks and I let myself be taken in by his magic. I can't trust myself anymore. Maybe he was right to call me a greenhorn.
You shouldn't take stock in his words. He doesn't even know the first thing about you.
Huh?
You're a wonderful Gramarye magician. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you, Apollo. But what makes you say that?
I know you're a wonderful Gramarye magician because of this.
The book.
Take that!
My grandfather's notebook?
The Gramarye Creed. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. When you performed your magic trick in court today, you showed the world your dedication to your troop's creed. Even through all the jeering, you kept a smile on your face and won the crowd over. You are everything Magnified could have hoped for in an heir. You're a great magician, Trucy.
A great magician? Me?
You really are. That's why you don't have to worry about what Redden said.
Oh, Polly. Thank you. Still, I couldn't have done it without you. I would have lost my nerve if I'd been up there all alone. But I was able to keep on smiling because of you.
Me?
I remembered what you said to me in the detention center.
Yeah, what a moment that was. After all, you're sure you swapped the swords, right?
Yes, I remember doing it.
Then I just know it wasn't your fault, Trucy.
But how can you say that? We don't have any proof that it wasn't me. I mean, I know you're a great lawyer, Polly, but...
I believe in you, Trucy, and I believe in your skill as a professional magician. So I'm going to prove your innocence. Don't worry, you're going to be fine.
Your words were what kept me going. Apollo, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now I can be everything I was meant to be.
Trucy's real smile is the best. I'm so glad I could help make that happen.
Emma?
I'm really sorry, Trucy, for everything. But why? Well, I wasn't able to convince Prosecutor Sadmati what a good person you are. And I had to testify against you, too. You have nothing to apologize for. You were just doing your job. You're too kind. Oh, I don't know about... Huh? Is something wrong, Emma? Oh!
Uh-oh.
Prosecutor Sadmati? What are you doing here?
Detective Sky,
Yes?
I require your forensic expertise in order to close this case. Come, let us go.
Wait! Prosecutor Sadmati!
The trial is over, Mr. Justice. You and I are strangers once more, with no further need to interact.
Strangers? Have you really forgotten all about me?
What?
You've really changed, Nayuda. Telling me to let it go and stuff. What happened to you?
O lawyer of impure soul, I have nothing to say to the likes of you.
Are you serious, Nayuda?
Now, if you will excuse me. What the heck was that all about?
There he goes.
What was that all about, Apollo? How do you know Prosecutor Sadmati?
Let's just say we're old acquaintances.
Acquaintances? It seemed like something more than that.
Yeah, well,
You don't like to talk about your past, do you? Because you always change the subject.
I
guess I'll have to talk about it someday. But for now,
come on. Let's forget about the past and celebrate Trucy's future.
Sure, if you say so.
Huh. Hey, it's Mr. Wright.
Put him on speakerphone, Apollo.
What's up, Mr. Wright?
Apollo, how's Trucy? What happened at the trial? Did you get a not guilty verdict?
Mr. Wright, slow down. Everything's fine.
Hi, Daddy! I'm okay now! She was found not guilty in a very dramatic turnabout. Plus, we saved the office. It was a great victory for Apollo.
Whew, that's a load off my mind. I can't thank you enough, Apollo. Now I know I can trust you to hold down the fort anytime.
Me? Really?
Yes, you. You're a real, full-fledged lawyer now in my eyes.
A full-fledged lawyer?
I still can't wrap my mind around it.
Thank goodness you were there to take care of everything. And thank you, Apollo.
No need to go that far, boss.
Especially not in front of everyone.
Oh, and by the way, I won't be able to make it at tomorrow's show, so I was hoping you could go. You'll do that for me, won't you?
Of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Beep.
What was that?
Full-fledged.
So Daddy asked you to come to tomorrow's show, huh? As my assistant, right?
No. He just asked me to go cheer you on.
Read between the lines, dummy.
Okay, then I'll be sure to save you the best seat in the house, Polly.
Best seat in the house? I really appreciate the thought, but...
Good, then it's settled.
Huh? Uh-oh.
April 29th, Penrose Theater. Stage.
Objection! I should have known. I should have known that this is what she meant!
Magical girl Trucy Wright will now perform her greatest illusion yet. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, ladies and gentlemen. This is real magic.
Wait a minute! You're kidding, right? There is a trick or gimmick, right? I'm too young to die!
Now then, Mr. Hat, you know what to do with that sword.
No! Wait! Stop! No!
And that is how Trucy and Gramarye land ended on a rousing high note. With a big round of applause and Polly's ear-splitting screams.
What kind of an ending is that?
Like I said, read between the lines, you big dummy. But anyway, Fiend.
Jordan face back, swish, and
That's the case.
All right, we got to get out of here, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're way past the expiration date on this gallon of milk.
And we're way past midnight, brothers. But was it worth it, man?
Oh, it's totally worth it. So, you'll join us next time, right?
Yeah.
This coming Wednesday. We're going to be doing this full time, y'all.
Yeah.
Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So, what hijinks will we get in next week? There's only one way to find out. So, I'm the Cannonball Alex Steele.
I am the Package Andrew Steele.
We are the Steele Brothers, and we are for real. Top guys